Greetings, stowaways. This episode comes with a content warning for graphic violence, historical depictions of slavery, and vomit. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I'm joined as ever by Robbie Raspberry Pi Bellekom, Sam Rhubarb Crumble Burns, and Ellie Gooseberry Gumdrops Sparrow.
Well, gooseberry gumdrops, that's an interesting one. It sounds like an Enid Blyton type saying.
Yeah, it sounds like Enid Blyton swears.
It does.
Oh, gooseberry gumdrops.
Gooseberry gumdrops, you've fallen over again. That's my campaign 2 character.
Golly.
Just go from Celestia to saying, oh, gooseberry gumdrops. Don't swear for the whole campaign.
Your campaign 2 character is a 14-year-old school child.
Yes, with a hockey stick.
Straight out of boarding school.
Who's made gingerbread for grandmother? I don't know. I don't know what posh
and
children
her long
do.
teeth and sharp eyes.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what's happening. Yes.
I'm not sure if grandmother is a wolf or a vampire in that situation.
Yes.
Oh, crossing the streams.
No.
God, it's weirdly such a hackneyed trope that so many IPs insist that no, you can't be both a werewolf and a vampire. Even though it's an entirely modern urban fantasy trope.
It's a slightly longer canine.
It's trope that they have any opposition.
Well, then that will
unrelated
also be my campaign 2 character, just because you've told me I can't multiple times. A werewolf/vampire that talks like this. And when the moon comes out and is full, she goes, oh, gooseberry gumdrops.
Oh, gooseberry gumdrops. I hunger for flesh and blood. It's quite convenient. I get my blood
not
when I eat
silver.
my flesh. Terribly sorry, old chap. I just need to, devour your heart with my bare jaws.
This character at least has to pop up in a one-shot at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yes.
Look forward to the character of
So here
Gooseberry.
for it.
Gooseberry gumdrops, who swears with their own name.
Yeah. Speaking of swearing with your own name, it's time for us to gaze into the Jasoning future and demand of future Jasoning Jason us what Jasoning messages from the present. It's Future Jason with messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. Last week, the patrons voted on an NPC to go into the game. You can check it out at patreon.com/flintlocks-and-fireballs, link in the description. We're an affiliate of Zavvi, fine producers of nerdy garments and handy household items. Remember, you can click through the affiliate link in the description and use code FLINTLOCKS20 to take 20% off clothing and FLINTLOCKS10 to take 10% off not clothing. Once again, we're involved with the online group Heist Game Agent Venture, the most fun you can have on a Zoom call while keeping your shirt on. Pull off a heist, infiltrate a base, and save the world with only a laptop and internet connection and your socially distant friends. Check out the link in the description. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason.
Jason, you.
Oh!
That's now a sentence, not a proposition.
It's vaguely weird that I heard someone just during the break. I just heard someone go "woo" in the very far distance through the soundproof thing.
They approved. We're very funny.
Yes. Speaking of being very funny, it's time to begin. I'm setting us a high bar to clear there. Speaking of D&D adventures, we can do that. It's time to begin.
Hilarious. Shut up.
Flintlocks and Fireballs.
Yeah.
Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free.
A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously, on Flintlocks and Fireballs. The party have become known as the Heroes of the Hound, following the Battle of the River Hound, in which they successfully managed to, actually take down a number of key enemy assets and really save the day, along with a number of their allies and friends. And probably in large part because of the work they did immediately beforehand. There's been some changes since then. Celestia's hair, Marjorie's curse. And
let's not think too much about that curse.
Jeffrey's acquired a fabulous new cowl. Corzin, it's been Corzin's birthday. Also, you now have an ice ship. But not like a ship that's designed to cut through ice, like a literal ship made of ice.
Yeah, if it's your first episode listening, he didn't say a nice ship.
You've acquired anus ship? No. Ice ship. Yes, go back to the start of probably, go back at least 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'd say.
2 episodes is a good way to start.
Welcome, though.
Welcome, if you want to start at Corzin's birthday. So, you have... you also found the disguised and possibly well-disguised, but no match for Celestia's well-earned paranoia on the subject of just periodically mind-screening people.
You put some new people on a ship just after we'd nearly been assassinated a few times.
Thurling Thimbleberry. Who you last saw as a flying flaming skull. You've by no means gotten Thurling to swear off his vengeance, but in the interests of maybe the greater good or achieving other things, or maybe he's just really tired of the compulsion to be avenged of his death, he seems to at least be willing to work with you for the moment. We'll see how that turns out. It has been a raucous and also relaxing day. Drinks were had, cakes were baked, geese were somehow magicked into existence.
Don't think about it too much.
I never do.
Never.
And eventually, the time of the evening comes to tie Celestia to a chair.
Oh.
She's pissed, by the way.
Celestia
Shackles.
is absolutely smashed.
We have shackles now.
Yes, you have shackles now. And Corzin
key.
has
also, she's not coming unless you tell her to.
Yeah.
She's not going to remind you that you've said that we were
I feel it necessary to make. Corzin has temporarily swapped out his tricorn for a hat. It's not even a hat. It's a wig that has been shaped half
like
Madame du Pompadour and half into a 3-masted frigate. It adds a foot to Corzin's just under 3 feet of height.
Alright, do you think it would be worth using as a cover story this time that whoever it is who turns up was at a fancy dress party and they maybe drank a little too much?
I think
more
more than ever we could use the excuse that this is a dream.
I think...
if I opened my eyes and saw me and this wig, I'd be going, this is a dream. This is...
Alright, fine.
Well, the thing is...
You wouldn't persuade me it's real.
I'm quite drunk. Just a little bit. If you leave me drunk, this body is drunk. So if they wake up drunk with you in a wig and a pink child, it's quite easy to be like, well, this can't be real. Or they got really drunk and something weird happened.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is a point, though.
Also, it might be shitter in a fight.
Does the person who turns up...
Well, I assume, right, your brain doesn't get drunk, does it? Your body gets drunk.
No, it's the body that's drunk.
So
what are you going to be like when you turn up in someone else's body?
I don't know. Maybe they'll still be pissed, or maybe they'll be pissed here, or maybe we'll both be pissed.
Should we get you a little bit more drunk to make this a stronger experiment?
Yes.
We're running into the possibility of getting, pass out level of drunk.
Oh, that would be such
out.
a shame if we missed that horrible people coming back trying to kill us.
Well, I
don't know if it would work if you were
kept
conscious.
dancing with me and making.
That's the thing.
Saran kept dancing with me and making me cocktails, so it's actually not my fault at all. She takes another sip of whiskey and just looks you dead in the eye. I take none of this blame. But I don't want to do a swap.
Okay, well that is fair. It sounds like you were very responsible.
Extremely. Very responsible indeed.
It would be in character. You are a responsible person.
I have never been irresponsible in my whole life.
Where would you like to manacle Celestia?
Let's let's get on with it before we get any more irresponsible.
I was enjoying being irresponsible. It was a nice day. What if it's horrifying and weird?
So,
fine.
Where would you like to manacle Celestia to a chair?
I think it would have to be in the sending room, wouldn't it?
Yeah, does it work anywhere else?
I don't know if it does work anywhere else, actually.
Have we ever tested it?
I don't know if you've tested it.
We haven't tested it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think we were too worried that I would get stuck somewhere to test it.
Yes, that
else.
was your worry.
Yeah.
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 Because the first time it happened was in a sanctum, but you didn't come back in the sanctum. Is that right? Brandy's mansion is a sanctum, isn't it?
Yes.
I believe it is. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first time someone came back.
No, but it was the first time. It was the first time we forced it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the first time you accidentally forced it by looking into.
Marlon came back.
Yeah.
Well, are we concrete in character that was a sanctum, though? Because we know that his throne is.
You know that the throne is. You know that that's why they have the captain's council there, because it's in front of the throne.
But I came back
that would
upstairs
make
as
sense.
Marlon.
Yeah, so in that sense, you're not 100% sure because you've not spent a lot of time.
We're
that.
very concrete that everything behind the throne is, and that room is, but I don't think we actually know about everything else. Don't know. Honestly, Celestia's too drunk to care, so I can't really have an input. Put her wherever you like. She doesn't give a shit.
I think it's fair to say that's our assumption at this point, in the absence of any other information.
All right, you you post a guard on the sending room so that you're not disturbed. Because people are going
It would look really weird if we were.
People are going around a lot. There's a party on. And the three of you hole up, securing Celestia to the chair with the
Click.
These are heavy. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Well, hopefully they'll be more effective than rope.
Yeah, we've had some bad luck with that, haven't we?
well, I can't get out of manacles, so surely that's got to count for something. Fingers
Very
crossed.
little.
Indeed.
We're going to keep a close eye anyway. Well, Corzin's going to keep a close eye anyway.
This has got loads of eyes. You can keep all the eyes on me. Giggles.
Not all of them, because some of them points the other way. That would.
Well, some of the eyes are in very weird places, actually. I'm not sure I'd want them on me.
No.
Someone's got
What's
to
it
pick
like when
this
you
eye
sit
up
on your
and-
own eyes?
Oh, does that feel weird? Does it feel weird when you sit on your eyes?
I hadn't really thought about it till you mentioned that, but
You-
it's
Now
just
you
like
will.
some of them.
Best dad ever. They've got
some of them just
actual
go
eyes
dark.
in the back
It's-
of your head. That's fun.
It's like covering the eyes in the front of your face. It's like
But they're on
or
your
like
arm.
covering one eye.
Interesting. Someone's got to pick this eye up in the ring, otherwise this isn't happening, by the way.
Alright.
I know, I've just been putting it off.
Touch my soul, it's gonna feel weird. Ow.
Oh yeah, as ever, just the weird invasive sensation of someone else picking up the eye.
This is worse when you're drunk. I hate it.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Alright. You, which of you does pick it up, by the way?
Nope, not touching that.
Okay, Corzin, you pick
I
up
will.
the eye and the ring and place one in front of the other.
I'm not sure I've ever touched it.
Celestia, roll a d6.
I'm gonna roll the destructive wave d6 that Sarah got me. It's very pretty. 1.
Okay.
Oh god, what is it? You would not believe the face he just did.
You
Did he do a face?
Yeah.
That's a tone.
He went,
There was a face, I could hear the face.
You fall, as ever, into the waters of the eye. You feel yourself plunge down, down, down.
do I feel drunk while I'm in there?
Legitimately,
Legitimately, I'm interested.
this is an interesting question. The deeper you go, the more distance you actually get diminishing amounts of drunk.
Like I get
Your
further
head
away
starts
from
to
myself.
get clearer.
Yeah.
It's not quite as if you're getting your head is getting clearer. You're just more distant from being drunk. Some tenuous part of you is aware that you're still drunk somewhere, but you're not drunk
But not
here.
right now, yeah.
And eventually, bubbles rising past you as the water gets darker and warmer. One heads straight up for you, and you actually no. It's dark. But there is the faintest glimmer of light. You realise your eyes are closed, and you can hear around you the gentle creaking of wood, the wash of the waves. You feel your body swaying side to side on what frankly feels like quite nice silk. You're pretty familiar with the feeling of silk. You grew up in Wealth. Mm-hmm. Your instinct here is some sort of silk hammock.
I open my eyes.
You open your eyes. You are in the. I suppose you are on a hammock, made of beautiful blue cloth, still stitched with cloth of gold, in patterns. Particularly, you note a repeating wave pattern around the edges of each. It's one of 4, dotted around what appears to be, you would guess, a stateroom. The structure of the ship is not the same as the one you're in. Roll a history check.
Okay. Non-awful. Give me a moment. It's a 19.
Okay. Not quite high enough for you to immediately recognise what kind of ship this is, but it's definitely nothing modern, and it doesn't feel frankly the quality of the manufacture doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like something you'd feel in the future. The styles, the patterns are very classical.
Maybe it's older.
Maybe your guess would be Tyrian, You don't know whether Republic or Empire, though. Which part of that history. But there are comfortable silks, cushions. There is a low table bolted to the floor. You can see there is secured in place with little lead holders, what looks to be a wine bottles and a cabinet. This is clearly a wealthy stateroom. Mm-hmm. You can hear the distant sound of oars splashing in the water as well, and a sort of ho, 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 ho calls.
Who am I if I look at myself?
So, taking a look at yourself then, one moment. You are...
Unless I'm interrupting.
No, it's fine. You are an elf. Your body feels natural to you. Mm-hmm. You're young. You have pale skin, so probably maybe a high elf. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell. You reach... you're definitely not a drow. You kind of reach up and find that you have... It's a little mussed up because you've been sleeping, although you're in clothes, so you'll probably be napping. You're currently wearing a sort of green tunic and dress type of fare with sandals. And you have slightly mussed, curled red hair. You're not sure whether it's natural or if it's being curled with irons. The curls are quite precise.
I'm definitely not the Reaver lady then, because she wouldn't do that. Unless it's earlier hair, I suppose. But she had natural curls there, didn't she?
She did have natural curls that were also quite sort of wild with abandon.
Yeah, but this looks like maybe it's curled
it's
hair.
It's hard to tell.
Sorry, it's like a weird question, but you wouldn't curl your hair if you have curly hair, so it's a different person.
Yeah, you wouldn't curl your hair if you have curly hair. In which case, I actually will confirm that with a little bit of examination, this is naturally curly hair. The sort of four locks, the bangs of which, as it were, have been curled with an iron for that extra curly
like BBC
lock.
Pride and Prejudice.
Like BBC Pride and Prejudice type curling.
Little bang curls, yeah.
But you can tell from the roots that this is naturally curly hair as well.
I want to check if I have tattoos.
You roll up your sleeves, check your legs. No tattoos. Also, you're young. You would guess teens for an elf. So by probably mid to late teens, so human years, maybe 11. You'd be in terms of just adolescent maturity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're probably half your actual age.
And there are other people sleeping in here.
No, the bunks are currently empty, but there are hammocks for additional people.
I kind of want to have a little look around the room and see if there's anything identifying.
Sure. I really should have asked you all whether you wanted to cast Comprehend Languages before the start of this.
Shit, yeah, of course.
That would be a good idea.
I will note, Scamp, that you can try and cast it on Celestia's body during this and see whether it has any effect.
It might be stealth, isn't it?
No, you've cast Comprehend Languages on someone before, haven't you?
No, I think it's self.
Oh, it's self only. Is it? I'm going to check that because I feel
I swear we would have cast it on me if it wasn't.
I think there's something... Oh, it's self. Okay, in which case... Scamp is going to have to cast Comprehend Languages if they want to understand anything that comes through.
I guess I'm out for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds like something we would do otherwise.
Yeah. You are out for 10 minutes, so if you cast while the first other side of this is happening, then you can be ready. You can be ready for the second one. Fortunately, you are an elf. You do speak Elven, and you are explicitly, as part of your background, educated in Old High Elven. So you can speak, you can at least understand Tyrian Elvish and read a bit. Give me an investigation check.
It's a bit like people who went to slightly nicer schools than I did, knowing Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Investigation.
Except Latin, but imagine that your native language is Italian, so you're not that far from it to begin with.
Investigation is 16.
16, okay. You There's not paper documentation. You do find a desk bolted in, which has strapped in place some styli and some spare and like a box where you could put wax tablets. There is also a desk which is currently locked, you think, but not necessarily. But like the kind of locked, it doesn't look like a complex lock. There is, looking around, what is there in the room? Along with drinks and some like a little secured in place bowl of kind of slightly dried up looking oranges. You've clearly been at sea a while. There is a small knife for peeling fruit. So if you wanted to, you could try and like force the lock with.
I might.
Okay, give me thieves' tools checks. This is basically Dex plus half your proficiency because Jack of all trades.
Oh shit, it's not bad actually.
Okay.
My Dex is good, so that is half my proficiency is 2, so that is sorry, I can't do maths. 24.
Okay. You deftly slide the little fruit knife in. Manage to slide the catch of the lock back and pull open the desk. There are a number of wax tablets inside, marked with the stylus, as well as like a little candle for like heating them and melting the wax in a little holder. You leafing through what you have, which I'm going to say you spend 3 minutes on.
Yeah, I don't want to stay in this room for the whole time. I do want to look around.
You skim through what's there. This ship, or at least the captain, the owner, it seems to be more like the owner necessarily rather than the captain, is the head of the Tabarii. So this would be alias Tiberius, alias Tabarus, Tabarii being plural, is the owner of this ship. This appears to be his. Sorry, wrong. I'm getting my sexism wrong. Tyrian Empire is sexist, so this would be Alia Tabarii, because it would be because a woman would be in charge, because they were staunchly matriarchal. So Alia Tiberius is the owner of this ship. She is aboard. This appears to be her desk. This is a galley travelling to the Orichalcan Isles. Skimming through, Alia Tiberius appears to be some sort of magistrate or official, and there is who is there going there on official business. It seems to be a lengthy journey, possibly consisting of several weeks. You don't get an exact figure. There aren't. This room does not have charts in it, and there is what appears to be a letter in a slightly different hand, as far as you can tell by the way the styluses marks are imprinted, talking about a rebellion or dissent, requesting for this magistrate to come and assist with stabilizing the region.
Okay.
There is that I'd say is about what you can get from this.
I want to go look around.
Okay. There are windows out onto an increasingly choppy ocean. It looks like there's poor weather. There's a storm brewing. There's a storm that actually, frankly, is already in progress. The winds have not whipped up into their strongest, but you can, as you've been reading, you felt the boat start to rock more dramatically, and although not quite as dramatically as you would expect. It might be. You'd expect the sails to be blown more in this situation. You can. Give me a perception check, actually, for looking out the windows.
Hello. We're having a good day. That is 24.
Okay, you can see in the distance a dull green coastline just on the very horizon. You would guess that this ship is not a deep ocean type ship necessarily, or at least if it is, it's one that can't go many days without seeing the shore. But it is a small island that you can see, so it's probably island hopping and going through like a somewhat roundabout way through a chain to reach its destination, which would match with the mention of the Orichalcan Isles. Otherwise, the only way out is by a door.
Well, yeah, I'll go out the door.
You open the door, and you find yourself pretty soon on the lower deck. Well, on the main sort of below decks of a galley. There are about, that you can see, 80 figures roped to their oars, a mixture of humans, orcs, orcs. There's 2 oars with like 8 halflings on each one, being overseen by what looks like a drow taskmaster, who has a whip at their side and is like, but is mostly overseeing what is going on. There's another figure, an orc, with banging a drum to keep a beat as the galley slaves are rowing to try and keep the ship going. Looking through the oar holes as well. The water is particularly choppy. They've probably dropped the sails so they aren't blown off course. As this happens, as this is happening, you can hear, borrowing the perception check before, you can hear muttering between the oarsmen in different languages you don't, for the most part, understand, because if they are speaking Orcish or Halfling or whatever the languages were prior to the unification of Jovan as a language by Petroleon, these are ancestors you just have never experienced. These are tongues lost to time, or at least beyond your education. The drow, who is dressed a little bit more he's dressed in like a sort of dyed white and black uniform. Not unlike yours, but like with a little bit less fashion to it. Turns around. By the way, one other thing you can see spirits fluttering around, mostly fish-like spirits or squid-like spirits, some bird-like spirits, hovering around everything, and in particular hovering around a small shrine built into the back, the sort of stern of the ship on the far side of the galleys. Oars. Below them, on the decks below, you can see in the sort of ballasty area is where there's various luggage and cargo that's been stowed as well. You normally, I'm trying to think. You do normally keep your spirit sight when you change.
Yeah.
That's
I have before.
You have before. That's cool. I just want to make sure that you did.
The Reaver ship, I can see spirits all over it.
You as this is hearing you emerge, the drow turns.
Is walking, looks at the whip, stops for a second, and then gets it together and keeps walking.
You can see there's a ladder
up
to the deck, and the drow turns and frowns. It's interesting. You're used to drow speaking with quite a refined voice. This is a different time. It's recognizable. It's a little bit more harshly accented There's something about it indicates a lower status. As he turns and goes, young mistress, you should not be... I thought you were unwell.
I still am. I thought getting some fresh air might help.
You should stay down in the cabin. The waters are getting increasingly choppy. Your parents are discussing things with the captain at the moment.
How long do you think they'll be? How is it going?
Well, we're working to keep these dogs going as fast as we can. With any luck, we should be able to reach the shore by the time the sun sets. And with luck, we may need to pull into port for a little while. Me
and my seasickness would be grateful for that.
Yes, I appreciate it has been a long voyage for your first one, young mistress.
I've got to do your first one sometime.
Yes. He does not see this. You do. One of the galley slaves, now that his back is turned, pulls an arm loose from his bindings and manages to get a sharpened piece of metal. It's essentially a shiv, but starts sawing his bindings loose subtly and cutting the ones next to theirs.
I don't know if this past vision will let me do this because I don't know if it's what happened, but I, Celestia, pretend not to have seen it.
Okay. Nevertheless, the drow in question is frowning at this.
You look worried. What's the matter?
He kneels and whispers. There's been talk. The skies as they are, the seas this distemperate. It can only be because we've displeased the gods. Some of the slaves overheard your parents discussing whether to perform a sacrifice to appease Neptune.
Oh, my parents weren't smart there, were they?
It's the accepted thing to do in these circumstances. It's well known that the sea god pays attentions. It's a little dramatic, but... Whole oar of slaves have gotten free at this point.
Just to keep talking to him.
They pull the oar in. They start grabbing things. One pulls the oar in. Listen. If it comes to it, you should be there. I've left a rope hanging down by the outside window of your cabin. If anything goes wrong, I want you to climb up it and get to one of the lifeboats.
Right, I'll bear that in mind.
You have to trust me. If anything goes wrong, these dogs. At which point, one of the orc with the knife grabs him. No! Drives the blade into his throat, slices it back. With a slaves start. The slaves who are free start freeing the others, and the orc with the knife turns on you. He's going to try and kill you.
She just sort of, there's a moment she just goes, I think I know how this goes.
Are you going to... do you try and dodge?
No.
Roll a charisma save with disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, I imagine this person tried to dodge, and I know you can only change the past so much, so... I mean, it doesn't change as far as we understand anyway. So, wisdom save.
Charisma.
God, sorry, I forget what my saves are, because Jack of all trades makes everything a bit... It doesn't do things to saves, but it does to your skills, and I always get confused between them. So that, my save is... the 16.
Okay. The orc slashes at you. The body you are in reflexively puts up her arms and gets 2 deep slashes across her forearms. If you want to keep staying there, I need another charisma save with disadvantage.
Yeah, I think, honestly, Celestia's on board and also feels like it will last longer and be worse if she keeps fighting. So yeah, I think she is going to keep just trying to be like, just I know what happens here, just let it happen. 19.
You stay again. This time he stabs her in the shoulder. One arm drags loose.
Oh, I did not sign up for this.
It is agonizingly painful. At this point, seriously wounded, perhaps more than she was in the past, the body just takes over. You can't keep her there any longer.
The story happens, yeah.
You feel the body take control long enough to clamber desperately up and out the ladder. You see a couple of shocked elves look over from where they're discussing with the third. They have a familial resemblance. There's a younger elf, probably 9 years old. There's a moment where the body you're in stops to stare, and then one of the slaves manages to get hold of a harpoon. It goes through the young male elf's skull, killing him instantly. The rest of the escaped slaves clamber up to take revenge upon their captors. Mm-hmm. You can't keep yourself here any longer. At least not. You can't keep this body here. As the orc from before, knife wet with blood, comes up, he takes another slash at you, and you topple backwards over into the water. The body starts struggling, swimming away, but as you hear the shouts and cries, some of them manage to overpower. It looks like there were some archers on board, and you find a handful of them turn over the edge, trying to shoot you in the water. What do you do?
I think I'm probably in enough pain that I would automatically dodge. Like, having had a stab wound and two big old cuts, I think you're at the point then where instinct would take over and you'd dodge.
Yeah. So you...
Yeah, seems likely.
Yeah, you start dodging. It's hard to dodge the instinct as the arrows rain around you. Despite your attempts to dodge, another arrow slashes you across the ribs. You're bleeding thick into the water. The spirits are swirling around the ship, but also a couple around you, almost like sharks around chum. But one of them, oddly familiar to you, a little golden eel spirit, flutters up, swims up, and wriggles at you significantly, and sort of gestures down twice with its head. It dives down below the surface.
I take a deep, painful breath and follow it.
It's extremely painful. You dive down. Arrows plunge into the water before they call off shooting, and just waiting for you to resurface. As you swim deeper and deeper, made much harder by the multiple injuries you've received. And stream blood through wounds which are just burning from the salt, as your lungs are burning now as the air is depleting. You see shapes in the water surrounding you. As you realise the metaphor about sharks and chum, not just a metaphor. 3 sharks attracted by not just you, but the other bodies being thrown overboard, begin to circle you, and figures behind. But the eel flares up and seems to pulse for a moment with light. The body almost lets a couple of half a gasp of air loose in surprise, as you see a handful of figures follow a handful of sharks up. Somewhat shark-like in appearance, green-scaled. Half a dozen sahwagin swim up to see you. They are different to the Sawagin you know. The Sawagin you know were garbed almost, frankly, quite crudely, in a scavenged fashion. These ones seem to have fine seagrass woven clothing. The shells that they wear are machined and adorned into patterns that would, frankly, look not out of place on high class nobility.
Like obviously nicely made and made by them kind of clothing.
Yes. And also their weapons seem better made, better forged.
Yeah, because Sawagin have always been wearing clothing that looks nicked and weapons that look
nicked. And weapons that look quite crude or stolen. This, you don't know what's happened here, but the Sawagin of this time seem to be better off than
they
the
had their own
Sawagin
stuff.
of now.
Yeah.
And one of them, in an elaborate sort of thin dress, swims up, wielding a sort of spear decorated with carvings of different sea creatures, looks at the eel, then at you.
I think I probably recoil without meaning to.
You do, and you can feel like the last of the air just escaping. She holds up a hand. The shock slow. Gestures, and the eel spirit dives into your chest as it fills with water. Strangely breathable water. And that vision ends.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did the Reaver lady have scars on her arms?
She did. I'm trying to think whether she would. Hold up. It's kind of hard to tell because of the
she had tattoos.
She had tattoos, so it's kind of hard to tell whether she did.
She could have done, but we're not sure.
It's also unclear whether those injuries happened in reality.
Yeah, true.
She probably was somewhat injured, as the sharks did come. But
I mean, frankly, I wasn't rude enough to look at her ribs. So
frankly,
not going to be that much of a dick to perv on someone.
Meanwhile, by the way, cross off your past tally. You got 2 futures?
Yeah, I have 1 past, 2 futures, and 1 awareness.
3 awareness.
3 awareness? Oh, fuck you. Oh, God.
Some things have happened.
That's new. Help.
Oh, no.
Shit.
So.
Crying.
Corzin, you hold up the ring and the eye to Celestia. And there is a... She seems to shudder a little. And just sprays vomit in the direction of Corzin and Scamp. This person is not used to taking their drink. Both of you need to make dex saves to avoid the vomit spray, please.
Okay.
I do not. 7.
That is a 13.
Both of you are sprayed with a solid chundering of alcoholic vomit. Scamp more so than Corzin. Corzin, it gets it's only a light spraying. Some of it does get on the hat. Well, the wig.
You don't have Celestia to clean it up with prestidigitation either.
Some cleaning. Yeah, okay. We'll just have to deal with that afterwards.
Okay, this would be a question. So at this point, Quoi? Do you still know? Quoi? With the bed.
Would I be able to recognise this as Elvish?
It's yes. Can you speak Elvish? I think it's the thing you've been picking up.
I cannot speak Elvish.
You can't speak it, but you can recognise it as being akin to Elvish, yes.
Yeah, I've heard Elvish spoken before,
Yeah.
I just can't speak it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you would recognise this as Elvish.
I'm going to reply in common, first of all. don't be alarmed. And then I'm going to switch to halfling. Seems perfectly right.
We definitely should have done that language spell.
Confused, sort of squinting.
Okay, let's try something else.
Don't know, Amanda. No, this is Servus, no?
No, let's try hello in Dwarvish.
Oh, let's find out if she speaks Dwarvish. Okay, you say hello. There's a frown. In thickly accented Dwarvish. Hello?
Oh, this is a bad choice. I speak some of this language.
More of it than me.
Hello.
I am not
You are
good speaking dwarf.
infernal? I think that's the one I
What?
speak. No, probably not then. You're safe?
This is actually a good point. Where are you
help?
in this time? You'd be like, what? Where I? Why you slave tie up? Why your slave tie up?
Okay.
She nods at Corzin.
They say you're very pretty.
I
like
doubt
the
it
hat.
from their tone, but alright.
She's doing these sort of
you're
speaking
ill
loudly
and
in
hurting
ropes.
yourself.
Well, sorry, I didn't catch that. You are what and hurting yourself?
You're ill.
I roll a deception check
I mean,
with.
she just vomited, so
It's
figured
like
that
roll,
might
I guess
be good.
that's a straight deception
She also
check.
actually was ill, apparently.
Yeah.
Just by sheer luck, she actually was ill.
Yeah. Roll a deception
Yeah.
check.
I mean, she vomited. It was-
Yeah.
No, they also said she was seasick at the other end.
Scamp, can I
Yeah.
ask you to roll a deception
That's
check,
true.
please?
Yep.
That is a 14. I did not roll well.
There's like a narrowing of the eyes. I am sick. Yes.
A gesture to the vomit.
Ugh. She wrinkles
Fill
her
a bottle
nose,
bucket.
spits a bit.
Yeah.
Can I have water?
That's what made you sick. So no.
Such an asshole.
My mouth tastes donkey. Please,
Yeah,
water.
I taste donkey too.
Oh.
So-
Oh, really? I'm sorry, I don't understand enough of this conversation in character to help you.
Cousin,
She just, like,
this
spits
person's asking
dryly.
for water and I don't trust them. What do I do?
Well, they've just thrown up. I think it's not unreasonable. Hang on.
Yeah, but there's not. It's also not really real.
No, true, but I mean, they can still, I suppose, feel and perceive the place they are, right?
Yeah, so it is mean, isn't it? Even though they won't remember.
No, and plus, I think Celestia will thank us once she gets back.
Celestia's
Hang on
front
a
is
moment.
also covered in vomit now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a clean spray.
Well-
You get some water. I'm going to start casting the language thing for the next
All right.
person.
I will go and I will get some water as quickly as possible.
What's your name?
Nimue, what is your name?
Hello, I am Franklin.
Deception check?
Is that Nimue?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 28.
She sighs a little. So, Franklin, I assure you, if you contact my mother, she will pay steel price.
Oh no, this isn't about a steel price. Honestly, this will be all. You'll be fine and back where you were. You'll feel much better. And like
we are not. If you hurt me, then we will kill your kingdoms.
okay, I don't have any kingdoms, so that's probably fine.
Lie.
What's your mother's name?
My mother is Alia of House Tabarii.
Okay, and just because you've been ill, we need to check it. What year is it?
I will speak no more to dwarf, steel, dwarf.
Dwarf, steel dwarf.
Doesn't have the words
Okay,
for it.
no more dwarf, steel dwarf. What?
She this time just spits at you, just full on at you.
Oh, come on.
Convinced that you've kidnapped her.
Well,
Spit's still got sick in it as well.
Oh yeah, because you haven't got any water, so she's.
Yeah, I would have gone and been getting water during this exchange.
So you return in time to see her like dry spits and some sick at Scamp.
Or
we're
here
getting
you
on.
go.
We're getting on very well. This is
I
going
can see that, yes.
fantastically.
She looks at the water suspiciously, but obviously this body feels very thirsty, so she begrudgingly takes some and then quite greedily drinks it up.
Did
you manage to get anything?
I got a name, a mother's name, and I think she thinks. Oh, well, I have no idea about elven names. But I think they think we're kidnapping them for a ransom.
All right. I suppose, given the situation, that's not an unreasonable assumption to make.
No, not really.
But,
I mean, look at us. We're rubbish kidnappers.
Yeah, and that alone should maybe suggest the fact that we aren't, in fact, kidnapping them. Because if we were intending on kidnapping them, we'd be doing a bloody better job of it, wouldn't we?
Literally manacled to a chair covered in
She has no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just like drinks the water and like gives you a stiff nod and then just folds her lips together, intent on saying nothing more.
I'll put the drinking vessel, whatever it may be, down.
It's just a wooden cup.
So,
I can't get her to tell me the year, or them to tell me the year. That would be useful, wouldn't it?
yeah.
You got any thoughts?
Well, can you ask where they think they were prior to getting here?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Where is your mother? Where were you before we steel priced you or whatever? We just need to get in touch to return you safely. We are not dwarf steels.
She firms her lips, and you can tell that were she able to, she would fold her arms in front of her.
You're rubbish. Unhelpful.
She spits again. Your
I've got out of
beard will
range
be
by this
eaten
point.
by ants. Which appears like it's actually weirdly well translated, and you get the feeling this is probably a dwarf insult.
Well, that's
Of
a
the
good
time.
one. I like that one. I don't have a beard though. There's a whole thing about a beard, Corzin. Don't worry about it.
All right. Can we even get any impression like that? They're speaking Elvish. Are they Tyrian?
Well, the name felt like old.
Right.
Like we've come across like old Tyrian Empire folks before, and that it's got the same ringing to it.
Could I roll a history check to see if the name's Nimue or the House of Tabarii?
You certainly can, by all means. Go ahead.
Mean anything
I'm gonna
to
keep
me.
casting the thing on the floor. Grumpily.
That's not great. No, that's just 8.
Nah.
Can I do one when I come back out?
I'll let you roll it now, and I'll tell you what you can know when you come back out.
Cool.
Okay.
Not much. That's a 14.
Tyrion, can't tell if it's Republic or Empire. Probably definitely a noble family, but not one you've heard of. Not like, probably, you don't think it's like one of the Imperial lines. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, probably a matrician family.
And the ill spirit recognised from the Sahuagin rather than the Reavers. Cool.
Yep. Because that apparently has been around for a while.
I was going to say, that has been around a while.
Makes sense.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
that's all
get
you find
this up, and this one. I don't think it's going to be done in time, and that won't help them understand me. You'll just.
You've got more of a dialogue than I think I'm managing at the moment, and Corzin is going to try a couple of words of Sahuagin just on the off chance.
Trying to think about that. Yeah, okay, what do you try and say?
Okay. I'm going to say, we mean you no harm. There is a strange thing happening that we're trying to get to the bottom of.
She frowns at that. Roll an insight check.
Okay. Oh, I'm killing it today. That's a 7.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
She's clearly reacting to something, but you can't really tell what. But it seems to have taken her by surprise.
What was that one? I don't know that one.
Or it's Sahuagin.
Ooh.
I don't really have much cause to use it that often, but I do at least have a smattering of their language.
Well, I feel uneducated. I don't have many languages.
It comes from, well, they were... Long story. I will address them again. Can you tell us where you are from?
She seems to regard you with curiosity, and then turns to Scamp. What is your slave saying?
What were you asking?
I was asking where they were from.
Oh, he wants to know where you're from, and not a slave. No. Just no.
Frowns a little at that. I am from Tyre. Where did he learn tongue of sea people?
From Tyre. Wants to know where you learnt the language of the sea people.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. They live in and around the sea. I learnt it from studying them, ultimately. After Slavitskazal the first time, I didn't want to be caught unawares again.
He's got a history with them, so learnt it.
Oh,
I nod.
He is pay fighter? Has fought for sea people? With sea people?
Sort of. Do you speak it?
She shakes her head. I hear no.
Right.
You get the feeling that, much in the way that if you don't speak Japanese, you might still recognize someone as speaking as Japanese.
Yeah.
The way we recognised Elvish.
Yes, same way. Like, she doesn't speak it, but
Especially
she
if it's
clearly
a language you've heard.
Yeah, but she clearly recognizes the language as someone who has heard it spoken, even though she doesn't know what it means.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's we recognise your language. Yeah, that's what that is. Here, no, recognises dwarfish. I'm not good at this language thing. I've gotten better, but it's
All
still
of you are
hard.
speaking second
You're doing a lot better
languages
than I
here.
could.
trying to find a weird, like, backwards way to coordinate. You said while you're doing this, you start working on the comprehend languages spell, which will hopefully be done halfway through the next echo.
Oh, I need to start casting this damn thing before the next time I forgot again.
Jason, I have an out-of-character question.
Yes.
Well, that might be the answer, but I learnt another language as part of the last level up.
Mm-hmm.
Would now be a time I could employ it?
It would. Yes, you've been studying, trying to learn it.
All right. Then Corzin is going to attempt to try saying, "We mean you no harm," once again, in Old Giant.
Her eyes light up. Ah!
What's
She
that
says
one?
In
It's Giant.
slightly hesitant giant. Greetings. This I know.
Oh, good. Right.
Why have you kidnapped me?
We haven't kidnapped you. Something bad happened. We don't know who you are. We're trying to return you to your people, but we don't know who you are or where you come from.
Given the situation, disadvantage, persuasion check, please.
Fine. Okay. It's a 10 at least. Double figures.
I am the first daughter of Alia head of House Tabarii, Principe of. This would be at this period in time. It would be Principe of the Republic of Tyre.
Ooh. Okay, do I know when the Republic of Tyre...
History check, please.
History, yeah, figured. Okay, that's an 11.
Pre-Empire could be anywhere from ballpark of, with 11, ballpark of 3,000 years ago.
Right, okay, so I'm going to turn to Scamp and say in common, alright, I don't know exactly, but we're talking like pyramid in the middle of of Meadmere old.
Oh, wow.
Back along. Like, pre-Tyrian Empire, so yeah, this is a long time ago. I guess that might be why she understands Giant.
Yeah,
right,
are they still around? Could you get any info
Which barbarian tongue are you speaking?
This is the language.
This is in Giant, which she can speak much more fluently.
Yeah. I will say, are you familiar with? Well, I'm just trying to think in terms of geography. Are you familiar with Cairnon?
Cairnon, yes. I have visited there once. It is a beautiful place.
It is what we are speaking is spoken there. Different dialect, perhaps, than you're familiar with.
You are speaking one of the slave tongues.
God.
No, I have seen people like yours before. working the mines and the vineyards?
Quite possibly. Not slaves, though. And I gesture to the two of us. Definitely not slaves.
Right. They do not use the same word in the Alliance, do they? But we know you are... What is the fancy term? You are client peoples.
To a point, but the point being is nobody owns us.
She does like the head bobbing equivalent of that thing where like you stick your hand out and like wobble flat and like wobble it side to side as if to say, yes, it's like it's a fine distinction.
Yeah.
It's like, so you say, all right.
Yeah, she seems to feel like she's identified who your owners are now.
Point being, you're not being kidnapped. There's no ransom, nothing like that. We're just trying to figure out who you are and where you've come from. Can you tell us what you remember you were doing before you arrived here?
I was travelling with my parents and my brother to my mother's next assignment, which is presumably where you picked me up.
All right. And
I will not say more until you have sent an envoy to Tyre to negotiate my ransom or return.
What do they want?
They want us to send an envoy to Tyre to negotiate their ransom or return, which...
Good luck.
I mean, we can certainly do that, but I don't think you quite understand how long that would take.
I am prepared to wait.
All right. In the meantime, then, I hope you won't mind if you could ask to answer a few other questions for us, because how you got here is of great import to us.
Very well. Ask away.
All right. So you were
as you open your mouth to ask the next question.
Fair.
She blinks.
Yeah. Fair.
So,
Okay.
Celestia, roll a d6.
What's my d6? There's my d6. It's a 1 again. Do you want me to re-roll?
You know I do.
Okay. 5.
Okay. This is one where I can actually give you some notes for it afterwards for the return journey.
Okay. Do you want me to do this one?
No. This is the forward journey. So this is your side of things now.
Oh, fine.
You, as you feel water fill your lungs, you cough.
You would reflexively cough, yeah.
And nearly fall a very great distance before you catch yourself.
Okay.
You are sat on what appears to be a long length of bright red painted steel girder. Hundreds of feet in the air.
Oh, fuck.
There is a you can see that there are chains holding the girder in place up to a crane. It is at one end, just about resting on the edge of. It's actually on both ends, resting on the edge of like an L shape of in progress construction. You are one of a couple of people sat having sandwiches out of metal lunch boxes. You are wearing. You look down, catch yourself. You appear to be orcish. Grey-green skin, quite well built, wearing basically I want to say overalls, like they're kind of like dungarees, but not like like the aprony sort of overall type things.
Like workers' overalls.
Yeah, workers' overalls. A fairly cheap cotton shirt rolled up to the elbows. You've got a tweed flat cap on. There's a set of tools next to you, and your companion says to you in German, like, "Whoa, Oscar, watch it. You'll knock us over.
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. That was, I don't know what happened to me there. Sorry.
You look down. You are hundreds of feet in the air above a sprawling city. There is a I think there is a river that runs through this one, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to check. I need to actually check my map for this particular one, and I'll be able to tell you. But there is a lot of mixture, or kind of vaguely what you come to associate as colonial Sundran architecture, but like changed. Like the base structures are there, but it's advanced onwards a bit. In the smaller houses, there are maintained parks, there are wide roads in places that you can see just from the forwards angle that you're looking at, going out over a wide plain. There are hills in the distance. You can hear distant sort of sounds. It reminds you a little of the architecture you saw in the future where everything was destroyed. But a little different style. They're not quite, doesn't seem to be quite there yet. There are maybe hundreds of thousands of people living in this city, though, below you, and you are on one of what appear to be a small number of ludicrously tall buildings. Skyscrapers, if you will. You're on one in construction, and you can see behind you there are construction crews at work building this one. You appear to be on your lunch break.
Oh, I've gone really weird. What year is it? I've forgotten.
Oh, that's a good one, Oscar.
No,
Yeah,
really, like my head's gone super funny.
What, you hit yourself on one of the girders?
Maybe?
Goiters, it would be. Who's your friend? Yeah, okay. Passes you a crumpled newspaper.
Fucking yes, I want a newspaper. Excellent.
Which has been... oh boy. So this newspaper has... looks as if it's been passed around a lot of people. Like the work crew bought one newspaper and have passed it between. The chief story is about how one of the new talkie stars... Actually, no, we're not in the talkies yet. How one of these new movie star... about how the star of the latest, something called a movie...
It's a movie. She's for herself before she thinks about it.
Yeah, is into town. Like, what? You not seen one of the movies yet?
No.
Oh, they're all the thing.
Is it fun?
Better than radio. Well, not as good as radio. It's all music. You got to watch the title cards for the sound, but still.
Just like
Love it.
Stares. No fucking idea.
And you can see there is a beautifully done
music.
Beautiful done illustration. Yeah, there is actually, speaking of which, you can hear from on a long wire cabled all the way down, there is distantly music playing out of a small box with a rounded top, which seems to be shared by the various work crews. It's playing something not unlike this music. And you can and yeah, so this talkie star, Greta Gosberg, is apparently has apparently been in just announced her engagement to some sort of trilby-hatted, looking very proud figure called Marvin Oswell.
And
I'll tell you who those are when you're Oscar.
Okay.
But the most of the story doesn't make a lot of sense. But the important thing is, it is the 7th of falling leaves, 1922. And this is the Indianapolis Gazette.
Oh.
Indianapolis.
Very good, Jason.
Did we go to a city called Inyan?
You went to a city called
Yep.
Inyan. As that moment strikes you, you look round. Two things come up. First of all, you can see the down below, kind of, and the city's built into them, the bright white cloud stone walls of Inyan and the old giant city. The new city's been built around it. You also see very few Achin here.
Ooh.
This is not necessarily a good future.
It's quite bad. Okay.
Most of the workers here seem to be humans, orcs, and halflings.
No, Sheen.
You see one Achin who is wearing the same dress as the others, a blue Achin with yellowish feathers. He seems to be carrying heavier loads than the others, and people are keeping their distance.
Well, let's not not keep this one happening, eh?
What are you talking about, Oscar?
Oh, sorry, just talking to myself. You know how I am.
You sure? I ain't heard you doing a lot of talking.
I told you I hit my head. It's a weird day.
You must have hit your head pretty hard.
Well, you saw me. I nearly fell off.
Yeah, that's true. I heard about one guy back in the days when they were first building all the railroads. Got a piece of got a railroad spike gleam through his head. Never the same afterwards.
Just blank. I really honestly don't know what you're saying. It's...
Wow. Listen.
a bit
You
behind
got
the
to pull it
times
together,
here.
Oscar. You know the foreman ain't gonna give us time off for injuries.
Right, yeah, the foreman.
You can see. He nods over. You can see a thick-browed orcish woman shouting at various crews to snap on with the construction work in progress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks like an asshole.
Hey, don't let us hear you say that. They never proved that she pushed that halfling off.
Wow.
Besides, this building's owned by the Oswells. You don't want to get on their wrong side.
The Oswells.
Yeah. Not if you ever want to drink in a speakeasy again.
I'm sorry, darling, I really have no idea what you're fucking talking about. It could be anything.
Okay, listen. You listen to the radio. Oscar.
What's a
I'm going to
radio?
finish my
Help me.
roll a persuasion check.
It's partly genuine, like, honestly. She's going with the I've hit my head shtick, but the confusion is like... what was that? Persuasion?
Yeah.
I mean, it's me, so that is 23.
23. Okay.
I'm really properly concussed here, if I'm honest.
All right. Listen. The fellow in question.
You're going to have to explain to me where we are and what we're doing, because yeah.
The fellow in question is a human man, quite fat, bristly moustache, has a vaguely sort of Tyrion look to him, and is wearing a dusty red overall. And he's got a set of tools next to him. Okay. You are Oscar Stein. You are a construction worker, which you're being paid. And the longer we stay on Brit, and if we still have this conversation when the whistle goes, you ain't gonna get paid to build the AT Moran financial skyscraper. I am your best friend,
Hello.
Mario. I am a plumber. I am installing...
You're an asshole. Mario.
Installing...
Love it.
Yeah, it's a me, Mario, your best friend. I am installing the plumbing in the executive suites.
Please tell me he's wearing a red cap.
He is wearing a red cap as well. It's a bit dusty. He has a wrench in his bag next to him.
This isn't funny to Celestia. Fuck you. I do have an out-of-character question, actually. Oscar Stein.
Yeah.
Is this about the same time that I was the other Oscar in? Like, could this be the same period? There was German Oscar who broke into a safe.
Wasn't that Oscar Schwartz?
That was Schwartz.
Schwartz, yeah.
That felt not dissimilar architecture, but different style.
Okay. Different place, maybe.
Different place as well. Could be further forward in time, could be just like, or could be same time but different sort of area.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are architectural similarities, but there's a few decades difference, and that can add up to a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I have a couple more questions. My concussion's very bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
What is a radio?
It's the box the music's coming from.
Is it a spell? It's very good.
Listen, yeah, okay. Some of the enchanted ones are very nice, but you think a work crew like us could afford it? No,
Okay.
we're just using an electronic one.
What does that mean?
It means no magic. You know, the quality ain't as good. It can't do pictures, but like.
How do you get it to work without magic? Are there tiny people in it? Like, are there tiny people now?
No, there's tiny people chained to record contracts all the way over in Silverwood who are recording this stuff.
So people record it somewhere else, and you get it here.
Yeah, it gets piped in. Well, not piped in, like wired in. You see the wire?
Yes, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not sure you're grasping how confused I actually am.
Do you want me to explain what a sandwich is?
I've had sandwiches before. This one's okay.
It's a pastrami and pickle.
I've not had pastrami before. I don't know what's in it, but it's nice.
It's mustard as well.
Mustard,
On
that
rye
still
bread.
exists. Okay.
It's quite nice.
Lovely. Oh, now I want one. Oh, that sounds really
Wrapped
good.
in a little blue gingham cloth.
Oh,
There's a flask of tea as well. Thick, with like slightly off milk.
oh, delicious.
Yeah. Just the one where it's slightly starting to turn, you know?
Yeah. I have two questions. Two more questions. What's a movie?
A movie is a place where we all go into a dark box. If you're lucky, you go with someone you like and maybe you make out. And up on the screen, they tell a story with pictures. And sometimes they pipe some music in as well.
Oh, like a puppet show.
Like, yeah, but, you know, with popcorn.
If I had popcorn. I don't think I will have done, will I?
I don't think you have.
No. I don't know what that is either. Sorry, I'm really out of touch right now. My third and much more important question, where the fuck are all the Acheen? We're in Inyan, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, they're off in their own districts. They've, like... You think they're going to get jobs here?
Where's their city, darling?
Yeah, like hundreds of years ago or whatever. But they weren't doing anything with it. They didn't build big old towers. They were just living in the husk of what the giants left.
Built amazing things. Fuck you.
I ain't never seen any of them.
No, I suppose you haven't, actually. I don't know why I'm blaming you for this. You're just
I'm a
my
plumber.
best friend, Mario.
Yeah, I'm your best friend, Mario.
Is your name literally Mario?
Blame my parents.
Your parents suck.
Hey, at least my brother Luigi got a different name to his surname.
Yeah, they really couldn't be fucking bothered with you, could they?
Oh, thanks. I'm not sure
sorry.
I want to be your friend anymore. This
I'll
rate,
have a
Oscar.
child. I'll just name their first name the same as my surname because I can't be asked.
Yeesh. I should have gone into Cousin Wario's interior decorating business.
Could you give me a rundown of local news? That would be nice. Is anything other than movies happened lately? I mean, that's quite big. But
I mean, I don't know. What are you interested in? Like, there's, I hear that after the shooting, they've opened, the new speakeasy is opened on George Street.
Shooting? There was a shooting.
Yeah, because the mob.
What mob?
The rum runners.
The rum runners.
The bootleggers. The gin swigglers.
Are they stealing...
The honky tonkers?
Okay, I was going to ask if they were stealing boots or alcohol, but I don't know what that last word means.
People who play piano illicitly.
People who play piano?
Yeah, but like in a speakeasy.
What's a speakeasy?
It's where you go to get drunk without the law catching you.
Are other bars illegal now?
Yeah!
Shit, the future sucks!
India's been what are you talking about? India's been a dry state for the last 4 years!
Oh, fuck me, we've got to change this.
At this point you hear of a whistle going, shit, break's over and I didn't finish my sandwich.
Well, I don't know how to do my job, so that's fun.
Thanks a lot, Oscar! And at that point, there's
that was
the
a
rush
fucking mess.
of you going to a different time and place.
Not knowing what any of the words mean is an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Corzin, ask the question you were about to ask at Nimue.
I forgot.
have fun
Okay,
with
no,
Oscar.
I've got it.
Oscar's going to be enormous fun.
Oh, and speaking of which, I'm going to pass you a...
Oh, am I Oscar?
You are Oscar, so I'm going to pass you...
God, what accent does Oscar
Yes.
have? Jesus.
Okay.
Also, Marvin Oswell, just think Al Capone, you're in the right area.
Okay.
Don't worry about the... up to you whatever accent, because we didn't actually spend... Oscar never spoke.
Right.
He's an orc, so I'm inclined to make him German because my New York is real bad.
My New York's real bad and it hasn't stopped me.
This is true. What does this person talk like?
Just do...
Maybe you should do this. I don't know any of this.
Just like... I mean, it's up to you if you want to,
This is far enough in the Calcinian future that they're going to ask me questions that I don't know the answers to, and I'm getting stressed over it, so
enough.
please
I
do
will be
it.
Oscar. So, ask you a question.
It's literally like it's so far in the future that I don't know what important things have
I also
happened.
gave the wrong name. It was originally going to be Oscar Peterson. I forgot his surname. Oh well, Oscar Stein it is.
Okay.
Do you mind?
The question I was about to ask was, so where were you and your mother headed? Her assignment, you said? And
What the fucking hell are you talking about?
Oh,
Where
boy.
am I? Why am I chained to a chair? What the flying fuck is going on?
You're dreaming? That was what we were going to say.
And
wasn't
why
it?
am I covered in sick?
It's a bad dream.
You
Oh
were,
shit! Why am I a woman now?
It's a good dream?
This ain't how my dreams usually go.
Then it's a bad dream.
Alright, yeah, you're ill, but we're trying to do what we can for you.
What, did I hit my head in the gutter?
I
Yes.
think that was exactly what happened. Could you tell us what you were, what was the last thing you remember doing?
The last thing I remember doing was my job when...
Which
Whatever
is?
the hell this is. I'm a construction worker. I was building the
Okay.
new AT Moran Tower.
Okay.
And where was that?
On Main Street, Indianapolis, of course.
We're checking for head injuries, so if our questions sound weird or obvious, don't worry. They're meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Right,
medics. This
yes.
is a
Yes.
weird fucking hospital.
Yes,
Where did you take me? Is this like some shantytown clinic or something? Feels like it's rocking side to side.
Well, it looks and feels like a normal medical facility to us. This is probably a sign of your head injury.
alright, could you tell us...
Sweet Regent!
Corzin will go through the motions of checking someone for a concussion, because that is something he would know how to do.
You find the signs of someone who's suffering from a little alcohol dehydration, which they've just had some water for and has vomited extensively.
Alright, I'm going to offer this person some more water.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to say...
Listen.
What is
you're
your
not with
name? Oh, wait,
my
no,
name-
carry on.
my name's Oscar Stein. Listen, you're not although my mother's name was Peterson. Anyway, listen, you're not with the cops, are you?
No.
Oh, no, not at all.
Do you have anything stronger? Because I feel like I've been sloshed already, so it can't hurt.
Yeah, we do, although I don't know that would be a good idea in your condition.
It's
we have to be
medical
careful
need?
with this. I am familiar with those, but for the moment, we just need to establish...
You are dressed funny.
That's
you
your
from,
concussion talking.
From that new Pirates show or something?
Yes, we're the medical team from a theatre show?
Yeah, you remind me of a movie I saw. What was it?
What?
Bloodbeard's Revenge or something.
Okay. What year is it?
Yeah, an important question.
Far as I remember, it's 1922.
That's a good sign. Well remembered.
Glad I haven't hit my head that hard.
And what city did you say you were in? Did you say the city name?
Indianapolis.
All right. Corzin will be scratching these down on a bit of paper.
And what was the last major world event that you remember?
How major are you talking? Like the Great War?
Tell us about this Great War. Let us see how well you remember the details.
Yeah, all right.
Fine. It's the fucking
who was
Great
fighting?
War. 1914 to 1918. Who was fighting? Literally everyone. It was the World War, the Great War.
Well remembered. Keep going.
Oh, this
Did
is
you have
weird.
any
My
family
knee kind of
involved?
I'm all chained up. Why am I chained up?
You were hurting yourself.
Oh, right.
Yeah, unfortunately, while you were unconscious, we had to keep you chained up for safety.
Oh shit! I didn't hurt Mario, did I?
No.
Mario's
no,
fine.
Mario is a friend of yours, someone you were working with?
Yeah, we fought together in the war. He fought a little longer. I got 7 weeks before I got shrapnel in the knee and got discharged.
Oh. All right.
That's not fun.
I don't know. Currently I got lady legs, so I don't have that either.
And what lovely legs they are.
This is the weirdest concussion I've ever had.
Yeah, but don't worry, it will pass. I assure you this will pass.
Yeah, it will be fine.
All right. So how long have you been working on this thing that you were working on?
What, the Moran Tower? We're about 11, 12 months into construction now. Hopefully be done in it'll be another 6 months or so till we get the basic superstructure done. Then it's going to be all interiors. Mario was setting up the basic plumbings.
How big is this thing?
Oh, full 88 floors.
That's
Actually,
too
how tall
many
would that have been?
floors.
That would have been. I actually don't know how tall the one I'm basing this on is, so we're going to go with 88 until I know better. But I think it's actually closer to 100.
Is it 88 floors? Because that's what the Agent Venture Tower is.
It totally is. That's totally the number you pulled out your ass because Agent Venture.
A moment, I can actually tell you. Sorry, no. It's going to have 102 floors by the time it's done.
That's
big
too many
old
floors.
Penthouse
Wow.
at the top.
Just by comparison, what would be the tallest building that any of us would know about at this point?
Tallest, discounting things like light. Even allowing for a lighthouse, which is like the kind of taller end.
Yeah.
The Acheen place we went in.
The Acheen Tower
Churches.
would be the tallest, yeah, and that was those. Though the Acheen, the capital of the Panuki, Tiabay, from top to bottom was 300 feet of city wall and a little bit of height on, and maybe another 60 feet. No, it's another maybe 100 feet on top of that. So 400 feet tops, and that was kind of building a structure on top of a more stable existing one.
Oh, okay, right. So this is crazy big for us.
Yeah. In fact, I can tell you how big that would be. It would be whatever 381 meters is. Yeah, it would be 381 meters, which is 1,250 feet. It's about 3 times higher than what you've seen to date.
It's about twice the height of the tallest cathedral.
Yeah,
twice the height of the tallest cathedral. It is in fact the height of the Empire State Building, which I'm using as a base.
Right.
But they're always surrounded by such big buildings, even when you're next to them, you can't really get the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, that's incredible. How's that even possible?
Solid modern construction, good cardigan steel.
Sorry
I'm not
to
the
keep
architect.
obsessing about this war you mentioned. You said everyone was fighting it, but
Yeah.
how did it start?
Oh, I don't know. Some Jovan assassinated some other Jovan, and it all kind of broiled in, and there was like a whole. And then I went over as a volunteer. Like there was a big drive for volunteers to go get involved. The whole, I actually fought in Seoul. It was a beautiful place when it wasn't churned up by artillery fire.
Huh. Okay. That's
Were you
good bit
there?
of history.
Did you fight in the war? Or, I mean, you look a bit young, kid.
Oh yeah, no, I've read about it, but it's wonderful to meet someone who was actually there.
Old hand
and
like
your
yourself,
memories-
pirate impersonator, though. You would have fought. You would have fought in it, right?
Yes. However, I would have been part of the medical corps.
Right. So you wouldn't have been. Were you behind the line field hospitals, or are you in the or up close and personal?
The field hospitals would have been probably the yes. And that is all out.
All out,
by the
is
way.
it?
Yeah. The field hospitals. Yes.
Hey, maybe
lots
you.
of.
Who knows? Maybe it was you who stitched my knee up. Could have done
always
without the leg,
possible.
but glad you saved the leg.
Well,
Huh.
glad to have been of service, but I have to ask. So you were working away, and then the next thing you remember, you're here. Do you have family? Do you have people we can contact
I mean,
to let them know that you're all right?
technically, I got a next of kin living all the way down south in the in the snowy places, but nah. Parents passed away, pneumonia. You know how it is, and I ain't yet found the special someone.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Understood.
Now these days, if I run into trouble, you should contact my best friend. He'll look out for me. His name's Mario. He's one of the plumbers working on the on the Moran Tower.
We will keep an eye out for Mario.
Tyrion, is he?
Yeah. Well, I think his great grandmother was. He's Tyrion by culture. He's Sundran born like the rest of us.
Right. And so you're from
I think
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, yeah. Oh, when was he's always talking about this history. His great grandmother moved to Newmark around about the time the Revolutionary Wars.
Oh yeah. Do you know much about that Revolutionary War? How it?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us something about that?
Yeah. I mean, it all started in. Best I know, it all kind of started kind of right between Thunder's Watch and Newmark. Mario's grandmother would tell stories about it while she was making pasta. In fact, there was this one particular incident that happened. What was it? It had been back in 1798. It was about this month, I think it would have been Fallen Leaves. And
What was that?
was a real turning point of the war. You see, he blinks.
I knew you were going to do that.
Oh, yeah, I was waiting for it.
Felt it in my bones.
Yeah.
Roll another d6, please.
Oh, God. Hang on.
Just for my notes, was that the Moran tower that he was working on?
Yeah.
Right.
3.
Sorry, Murray. It would have been
Moray.
Moray.
Okay.
Was it Murray or Moran? I'm just checking
You
my
said
notes.
Moran, but
It's
if you said it
Moran.
wrong, that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's A.T. Moran, exactly like the person that you delivered all those financial documents to.
Right.
Whoops.
Unless their name is Murray and I have my notes wrong, in which case it was that.
Might be Moray.
I think it's.
I thought it was
I think it might
Moray.
be.
I'm
Is
sorry.
Murray. In which case, retcon. A.T. Murray. I just wrote the name down wrong. I was clearly thinking of Dylan.
You have a lot
Cool.
of things to
Yeah,
keep track of.
that's-
So yeah, it's the
No
A.T.
shade.
Murray Tower, not Murray.
Cool. Got it. Got it.
I rolled a 3.
3. Okay.
Shall we re-roll again?
No.
Okay.
That's a tone.
I'm interested.
I'm terrified.
It's not exactly quiet. There's a gentle of a clock counting by the time. You're at your desk, at a desk. It feels like your desk. It's sized for you, height raised chair, so that you can be close to eye level with taller people, but comfortable. Everything within easy reach. You're in a well-apportioned office. You can hear in the distance the sound of clanging, very faintly. Yeah, you want to say clanging, or some sort of building work. Something clattering away, just making banging noises. Over the of the clock in the distance, you can hear the clanking of metal, distant pounding of hammers, metal being struck or worked, chains being pulled into position. There's the sound of work happening somewhere. Voices in the distance. People just at their labour. You seem to be overseeing, maybe, or not on the factory front or anything like that, but in a position of ownership. You're small. Takes a moment for you to adjust to the scale. You feel like you're
Everything
a halfling.
looks massive, doesn't it? Yeah.
You're definitely a halfling. Middle-aged. From looking down at you, you'd guess from the look of your hands.
Stubble?
No, clean shaven.
But
Yeah.
somebody who would grow a beard.
But would grow a beard.
Okay.
You just around. Yep. At least biologically speaking, male. And faint smell of aftershave. There is paperwork. Crisp, well-made paperwork in the distance. Stacked up on trays near you. There are ledgers, books. You can see that there are some designs blueprinted on a wall. You can see a letterhead as well.
What's the name?
Corzin Horhace.
What year is it?
The letterhead does not have a year on it.
Is there anything with a date on nearby? I'm not going to spend too long looking. But
get up to look, feel your comfortably soft-shoed feet hit the ground. Walk around. There's a nice decanter of brandy nearby. You see, as you turn around, you see a painting kind of hung behind where you would sit. It's an oil work, inaccurate in places, in the background, but not really in the construction of the ship, of the Kraken's Bane. All naves, or moored in the harbour of what you think is Newmark, but like not quite right. Like some of the buildings are in the wrong places, and it's a bit less detailed, with figures like looking out into the distance, lit by a light source off panel.
This is a weird question, but what do my hands look like? Are they workers' hands, or are they soft person who writes a lot hands?
Weirdly both. There's some slight calluses, but there's also little ink marks. Not hard labour, but someone who's used to plating a piece of wood if needed. Mm. You can see the ticking, you realise, is coming from a pocket watch.
I'll take it out.
It's fancy. Smallest clock you've seen, since at least, discounting the far future. Gold casing. It has several dials, one for the phase of the moon. Also tracks the month, and you can see 2 digits of year.
What year is it?
It is 67.
67. And we're in 78.
Yes. You're in 18. You're currently in. You're currently in 98.
98. I mean, yeah, this isn't. I'm not old enough to be old Corzin.
You're quite plump. The years have been kind to you.
That sounds like old Corzin. No. But old Corzin never dreamed of being a shipwright.
Poke my belly and say, well, little Corzin, you've done well. Oh. Good for you. I want to have a look around.
You
just understand a bit about where I am.
Look down. There's from your office, which is elevated up over the dockyard, over the dry docks. In fact, you can see crews are constructing ships. Ribs of steel are being put into place with girders, plates bolted in here and there. In others, solid holes of timber, and what appear to be very large, and what appear to be almost like corkscrews, steel corkscrews being fitted into place. Large metal boilers are being lowered.
This is different. It's not something that I would have seen, is it?
No.
No.
They're ships, but
different ships.
They don't have sails. There's no space to put sails on these.
When I looked at my hands, was there a wedding ring or anything?
There was.
Oh, it's so cute.
Looks a little old. It's got those little scratches that wedding rings get over a few decades.
Oh, that's nice. I'm happy that he's married to someone. Yeah. That's really sweet. Is there anyone around who's looking at me with familiarity?
There is one person walking up to you that you don't recognise, but they clearly seem to know who you are. You can see, looks like maybe a construction worker or an engineer or something, They are a human. They're a human figure, pale, sort of slightly glistening skin. Interestingly, some discoloration in like dark discoloration down one side of their face. They have an engineer's cap tight down over their hair. You can just catch a couple of glimpses of quite bright reddish hair underneath. And their arm, like they have soot, smoke covering, like soot marks over a lot of them. I think it was about this, would be, wouldn't it? They call up. Sir?
Yes?
Engineer Trothseeker wanted to speak with you at the design room.
Of course, happily.
Right, sir. I'll tell you you're coming.
Great. How's it going today?
Well enough. The conversion over from the paddle steamers to the new corkscrew turbines seems to be doing okay.
Right. Good.
It's I'm mostly here to help with constructing the engines, sir.
Good. Well, good luck to you. Hope you're not working too hard.
Thank you, sir. Gives you the kind of stiff nod of someone who's not entirely comfortable necessarily talking with the owner of the entire shipping firm, and heads off back to work.
I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So
you look around, roll a quick investigation check.
like, yeah, go to this room. Fuck I am. That's a 17.
Okay. Screwing around, you do see that there is down a set of gantry stairs. There is another sort of this huge sort of dock building that it's almost like the rooms are built in small sheds. They're joining onto it, so you are able to track down and find one that seems to be like almost like a conference room, but you can see that it's also someone has made it into a bit of an impromptu workshop. And you step inside and you see Benny. She's attired still in her workman's overalls, different ones. It's not just the same ones, like 70 years later, but similar style. Black. These ones are black rather than the blues or greens she tends to wear. But she has a jacket on. It's got her beard in a single steel ring. Looking over what seems to be a full design of these new sort of corkscrew turbined ships. Because she looks much the same. A couple more lines in her eyes, around her eyes, but not a big difference. Dwarves age slowly. That's up. Corzin.
Hello, Benny.
Good to see you.
How are you doing?
Right. All right. These are right mind twister, no mistake.
Yeah.
Whew.
Those corkscrews, very twisty.
You're saying it. It's all about getting the right kind of steel. I hate having to work with those cardigans, but we might need to import it from overseas. It's hard. I'm hoping that we can finally find a good steelsmith, maybe from the mountain homes or something. Because, goodness knows, the ones here in Kion can't quite give us the purity we need.
Right. Yes.
You're right.
I feel a bit weird. I'm not feeling that well. Maybe got a little cold coming on or something. Feeling a bit dizzy.
Right. Forgot the day.
What was the date?
So
did it say a date on my watch? I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, so it doesn't have. So the day is the. I need to check the exact date here. It is 28 And the equivalent month would be falling leaves. 67.
Okay, 67.
This is a future.
Is the 28th significant to me particularly? Like, am I doing bad maths and making it not significant?
No, where you are, it's the 15th, but 7, and again, like 69 years earlier.
And the ships we think are coming.
On the 22nd.
22nd, okay, so that's not... I was checking that.
No, it's
because
not.
If it was the 22nd.
No, it's not.
Yeah, always a weird one.
Aye. It's been 69 years now.
Yeah. Maybe we should do something to commemorate.
It's early in the day, but you're right. Maybe we should get some of the Von Dion out a bit early.
Yeah, special day.
Yes. She smiles sadly. Pulls a. She goes to a cupboard, pulls out a bottle of sparkling wine. There's this beer.
Oh, good Foley, well done. That was
Oh,
very
yeah.
good.
And some decanters. Pulls them out. Hands you one. Do you want to, or...?
No, a bit choked up actually. Would you mind making the toast?
To Corzin?
To Corzin.
Clink. It's a sip. She was never the same afterwards. I tried my best to fix her up, but she took some pretty bad fire damage. And I replaced it all, but I don't know. Never quite sailed the same way.
Nah, it wouldn't without him on board, would it?
No, I wouldn't. I don't suppose you've had any luck from any of the people searching.
Not yet. Unless you've heard anything different.
No. No, I haven't. It's been 69 years and it still doesn't make sense. Why have there been no more Kraken attacks?
Yeah, why were there no Kraken attacks since my dad failed to kill the Kraken?
Well, that's one way to put it, but since the ambush...
The ambush?
Well, really, since Kion.
Would you call it an ambush?
You were there. You told me about the ships that caught the Kraken's vein by surprise in the mist. I'd call it an ambush. I know you've always thought, and I don't know, with this your dad's ambition, I've always wondered too if maybe that had something to do with why it never struck again after Kion, but...
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We got ambushed by ships, and then the Kraken never attacked again.
I mean, I don't know if it was that. Maybe I'm just assigning too much, too much significance because
he was significant.
I know your dad well, yeah.
He had a thing about the Kraken.
He was convinced the Kraken had a thing about him.
It did.
She sighs, takes another sip of the Von Dion.
Do the same.
If it's not from Von Dion, it's just sparkling wine.
So 69 years, she said, didn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird to think of it. Hard to remember what happened. Oh, blurry.
Sure. I know you don't like talking about it. I know that he saved you.
Maybe we should talk about it.
You think?
Yeah. Maybe it'd be good. It's the day, isn't it?
Well, you were pretty young at the time. I talked to your mother. Ancestors, rest her soul. But from what she said, it wasn't a storm like you're expecting. It just got cold and misty.
Mm-hmm.
The winds blew, and then it got still. And that's when the Reaver struck.
Yeah.
They laid those curtains of fire, they do. Managed to catch, they caught the basilisk in one of them.
Ah.
Hemmed the Kraken's bane in. And then it's at least partly the wyverns that did it.
They had wyverns, of course.
Aye. Once they started dropping fire onto the ship, it gets tricky.
You know, I was so young, I still can't quite fathom how he managed to get me out.
Fought him off. Pistols until they broke. Weapon in each hand. Bought enough time for you and your mother to make it out on the lifeboat.
Of course he didn't.
I think they tried to rescue his body, but the one with the two swords, he took his head. Couldn't bring him back. She tried, Celestia tried, but...
Yeah, she would have done, anyway.
Scamp was never the same. Neither of them were. Not until they disappeared.
My head's foggy. When was it they were last seen?
Would have been 1802, I think. They took what was left of the old girl. The old ship. Bad habits.
It's alright.
Took the Kraken's bane and sailed her away. They didn't tell me where, they just told me they might not come back. And they never did.
Where was that?
I don't know. I mean, they sailed it out of the harbour of Thunderspotch, but I was working there. I didn't, trying to keep things going with back when we were all fighting for it, and they were all fighting for independence. But that was a long war.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of good people.
Yeah. Was it worth it, do you think?
Which part?
How it ended up.
Well...
Was it worth that many people dying?
Took a long time. From what I read in the news, the Sunderlands are still sorting their issues out over slavery. Pretty violently, from what I hear about the war, but they got their independence. And who knows, maybe I know I say this every year, but maybe your dad just finally scared the Kraken off.
That's a lovely thing to say.
Well, maybe they did it. Who knows, maybe the two of them and the crew they managed to get to sail with him found the
I
Kraken,
hope so,
killed it,
but,
and just never came back.
I don't know if I trust them to have done it without him.
Anyway. To old friends and good fathers.
To old friends and good fathers.
There's a clink, and you feel yourself falling back.
Good luck, gang. I very strongly assume that you don't want me to do this one.
No.
Oh no, you should definitely do this one.
Absolutely not.
Oscar,
Far too much knowledge here.
halfway through. Right. But, yeah, I mean, the most important thing was, I don't want to be out the 27th.
Scottish.
Sorry, Scottish. Sorry, I got a bit of a cough
Scotland
after
was
that.
thrown.
I'm still Benny. Oh. Plot twist, it's Benny that comes back. She, drank some slightly too hot tea to calm me through that.
Whoops.
Oh no.
Whoopsie.
You having a good 5 minutes, didn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, so it was about the 22nd of falling leaves when he blinks. And then just stops.
Oh no, this
Stops
again.
still.
You've had a head injury and you're very confused.
Scamp?
Oh shit. Well, I don't need to bother with this spell then. Sorry.
He swallows dryly. It looks like he's seen a ghost.
Sorry, there's a whole bunch of weird magic, which, if you know who I am, shouldn't be a surprise. Who are you? Sorry.
He told me about things like this once. Long. Oh, it's been a long. Oh, Regent.
Do I recognize the inflections even?
It's older. The accent is half familiar, but it's confirmed when you hear. Dad?
Corzin?
Oh.
Oh, Regent, damn it. What?
Eyes are just welling up.
I'm enveloping as I'm just...
Oh.
I
Oh, this is good. This could be so much worse.
I'd hug
You
you
wouldn't
back,
believe
but...
that-
Oh my... Oh, Regent.
Are you alright?
What year is it?
1798.
What day?
My birthday, the 15th. You're up on deck right now.
I'm up on deck. What's the day you made the cat cake, didn't you?
We did. We made. You would not believe. Oh, you would believe the day we've had. You were there.
Oh, on the witch's tent. I remember it.
Yeah. Does it sail good? We haven't given it a go yet.
His mum's...
Yes,
still
of course. What happened? What do you mean still alive?
Sorry.
What is
it's
the year
been
you
70
are from?
years. 69, actually.
Oh,
pretty
Regent,
much
damn it.
exactly.
Nice.
I buried Mum about 9 years ago. Actually, no,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Mum would have been, what is Molly's current age? She's a little bit younger than Corzin, so she would have gotten to, sorry, no. Actually, no, she would have been about 10 years ago. I buried Mum 9 years ago. She lived a good life. Lots of great-grandchildren.
You're a father.
I just 4 months now, a grandfather.
Oh. Well,
Corzin is in bits.
Oh, it's so good
So
to see
you-
you, Dad.
keeping the family alive. Well, it's so good to see you, although this is weird circumstances.
Oh wow, it's weird to see. It's weird to be Celestia.
Are Scamp and Celestia, are they okay?
You've got a lot that you don't want to say, haven't you? Like, there's a...
You told me about this. Celestia mentioned some... Wouldn't go into the precise details. Before the pair of you left. Told me...
Where did we go?
Friedgen, I've been keeping it a secret for all these years, but you're the people who know. She told me about the eye.
Yeah.
Right.
Said that sometimes things would come back from the future.
That's how this is happening.
I'm not real.
I mean, you are in your future, but...
We won't know that. We honestly won't know that, but we have
Listen,
to...
if there's a chance of changing things,
All right, then what is it? Is there something that you can tell us that can make things better?
Okay, it's the 28th of Falling Leaves.
Right.
It's your birthday, and I'm up there now, and it's the same year. It's just going to be in 13 days' time.
Okay.
Right.
You're going to get ambushed by reavers on your way back to Porto Homicidio to try and take a crack at Brandy's crown.
Oh.
Ambushed by reavers. All right. We can be on the lookout for that.
How does that go?
Badly.
How
can
badly?
I'm sorry, Dad.
That badly. Okay. Oh
right.
boy.
Is this something that could be avoided by just going a day later or a day earlier?
I think they
or
were
waiting
for you.
us. Figures.
They had to have been. It was. They made a miss. They I don't know if they picked a day or if they had some sort of magic, but it was all misty. So you didn't see them coming until they were already in range of the trebuchets.
Your mother and you got away, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
You must have done.
Yeah, we did. You got us onto the lifeboat in time. We made it to the shore. Kind of had to walk our way through East and Sunder for a little bit. West and Sunder for a little bit, but we got to a port.
Okay. How did they attack? What kind of weapons? What can we prepare for?
Right.
Because let's make that not happen. That's...
Yes.
There were... we were travelling with the Basilisk. I'm sorry. I don't know how to change it, but... You were friends with Briggs, weren't you? I remember you...
Yes? What? Did something happen to him?
In the battle for Newmark. The Esperidia went down. We won. Barely, but we won.
Do you know how that happened?
You sent me away, so I didn't see everything, but you told me that they brought more ships in. They had Eagle Riders. We got ships in as well, but it wasn't quite enough. Oh, it was enough. That was the thing. The battery saved us. You managed to lure them close enough to get for the guns to tear them up.
All right.
Okay, that's good to know.
It worked. Dad, it worked.
What worked? The defense.
And the war? There were a lot of compromises that got made. The Cotton States, anyway, this isn't if you live long enough, you can deal with that. The point is...
I promise to you, I am going to be more part of your life. I'm not going to let this happen.
I don't want to see... I hope I can change the future. I hope that this doesn't happen. Well, the nice bits happen, but I hope you're there with me.
We'll make that happen. Their weapons.
I want to see my grandchildren.
Right. They had 4 ships.
4 ships.
4 ships.
They were a bit like the witch's tit, but made of wood.
Right.
Junks. They were, but sleeker, better made for war. I tried to track what I could of them down. They've lived their whole lives on the sea. They're expert shipbuilders.
That's what we've heard, certainly.
Their ships are as fast as the Kraken's Bane under full sail. Nearly as fast. I think the Kraken's Bane managed to outpace them a little, but they are faster. They were faster than the Basilisk, certainly.
As far as I know, one of the big things is we can outrange them. Is that anything that we can use?
You can, but only if they don't hit you during the fog. The fog cut your visibility down enough that by the time you could see them, you were also in range for their trebuchets. They can fire their trebuchets 3 times for every time you can get a broadside on them.
Right.
And they fire elven. They launch elven fire. They also have a trick where when they sail, they drop elven fire onto the water and it creates a curtain that you can't sail through without setting the ship ablaze.
Smart.
They used it to seal you in, so they could take down the masts, set the ships on fire, and then they went for boarding where they were strongest.
Right. So 4 ships against us and the Basilisk.
Yes.
All right.
Also, they have Wyvern Riders. They strafed you from above, strafed us from above, and they dropped elven fire into the sails. Tried to hit the powder stores as well. Their main ship, all of their ships actually, they've only got a couple of wyverns for each one, but they can use them like wing carriers.
Of course, makes sense. All right, so we're going to have an awful lot of defenses here.
The ones who didn't make it onto the ship, they take prisoners. I never saw them again.
Did the ship survive?
She was wrecked, but Benny managed to bring her back.
Of course, good old Benny.
The witch's tit was smashed up in the battle at Newmarket. The box hadn't gained its power back.
Alright.
Captain Appleblossom didn't make it.
No.
He was half a mind of whether to take the title or not. I remember you saying.
Regent, damn it. Alright, well, this is all things that can be changed. We know about it now.
A couple of other things. There's going to be an elf with 2 swords.
An elf with 2 swords.
He's as good a fighter as you are, Corzin. And there's a woman with red hair and tattoos in shark skin. She's got a staff and a crown of teeth. She's stronger than you are, Scamp. She's stronger than you and Celestia put together.
Okay.
I don't think you can defeat her, but
which ship is she going to be on?
She's going to be on the lead one. Just the it's hard to tell, but you'll know she stood right on the prow. She called lightning during the storm as well. She and Celestia got in a sort of lightning duel.
All right.
Amazing. Oh boy. This is a problem.
It is, but this is invaluable knowledge. I'm sorry to press you, but is there anything else? Anything that could have been done to change this?
I'm not sure. It's all I can remember, and I spent years. One other thing. The Kraken's never seen again.
What?
What?
It never attacks again. I was waiting to chart its next move. I kept eyes on the biggest cities, but where I'm in the future I'm in, it never attacked again.
So what was it about that event that meant the Kraken never attacked again?
I don't know, but Celestia and Scamp, you found something. It took you years. I think you found it you managed to get into Brandy's hidden treasure or something.
Okay, very important. Was I Pirate King or was Celestia? Because that is... no, that's not the important thing. Carry on, sorry.
You took the Kraken's bane, then you patched it up, got a crew, and you sailed away. You wouldn't tell me where. As you said, the knowledge of it might mean they'd come for me.
They were probably trying to protect you.
Mum wanted to go with you, but she needed to stay in.
Ugh.
You never came back.
We didn't come back.
But that could be the other thing. I don't know what happened. Maybe you did.
Maybe we killed the Kraken.
Or maybe something else entirely.
Prevented it getting through, or...
Something happened, and for every answer we've got more questions.
But we didn't come back, so can't have ended that well.
Dad, if you make it through this...
Yeah? Anything.
1820s, invest... They're going to be called railroads.
1820s?
Put money into them.
Right.
Best thing I can do. If you live through this, you might as well be rich.
All right.
Yeah. Otherwise, how long does this last?
10 minutes.
Not long.
Corzin, I am so proud of you, and I know that you've made a wonderful life for yourself. And I only hope that I get to spend more of it with you.
I hope so too. Regent, all the saints, I hope so too, Dad.
I hold him close.
He puts his forehead to yours. I love you.
I love you too. So, what are the grandkids called?
Oh, well, of course there's... the grandkids, of course, are Corzin, Molly, Alton, and Blink.
Okay, Corzin is just, sat on his ass on the floor.
Corzin, Celestia, you open your eyes to feel Corzin.
About, your shin?
Forehead, yeah.
Yeah, and just slump backwards.
Someone get me out of these manacles, please.
Yeah, you have so much vomit everywhere. I'm so sorry.
God,
Corzin is still wearing the wig, but Corzin Jr. didn't care about that.
No,
remembers
the
it.
wig is an entire non-entity.
It's fallen off at this point.
Yeah, it's in the corner. How are you doing?
It was Corzin.
Yeah, I'm going to casually just clean the sick off everything so that that's not a distraction.
The vomit, which is soaked in for the last half hour, just peels off and piles into a corner.
I just go over to him with my arms open.
Yeah, you're you can still feel the vague haze of alcohol, but post-vomit alcohols, it's a little cleared. And
I'm gonna
come
hug
here.
her.
Just sit on the floor with him. Grab the Scamp in if they want to come.
Yeah.
I suppose it was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
Yeah. He built ships.
Yeah?
He was married.
Yeah, he told me that there were grandkids.
Wow. That I didn't hear. Still works with Benny.
Benny, of course.
She looked fine. How much did he tell you?
A lot. There's a lot to prepare for, but
Yeah. Also, I'm Pirate King.
Fuck off.
well, if it had to be one of us.
If anyone's fucking Pirate King after Corzin's, it'll be fucking me. I assume he told you. Did he tell you, or do I have to break this to you?
No, don't. Yeah, 13
Fuck,
days.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, 13 days. We've got an ambush to prepare for.
Yeah.
We need to.
Benny didn't seem to know what sort of ships it was. She just said ships in mist.
Junks,
Reavers.
war junks, 4 of them.
Reavers, right? That makes sense. Okay.
Lots of magic, stronger
that-
than you and me.
Fuck,
apparently.
I didn't hear that bit.
I think it was that woman who had the grail in your vision.
Of course, it fucking was.
And I've got to keep an eye out for an elf with 2 swords.
Yeah, he Did he tell you what happened after you died?
Yeah, they made it to shore, and that the basilisk went down, and prior to that, in the battle at New Altmark, that the Hesperidia went down.
What?
Apparently,
Who was on it?
Briggs, at least, but
Who else
way he
was on
talking
it?
about
He didn't say, but if there was anyone else, he would have said.
I gotta check in with Leah.
She's not. Yeah.
Check in with Leah
he
and make
would
sure
have
she's
said
not on the
that.
Hesperidia if that's what you need to do. I
Corzin
honestly
didn't really know Leah. He might not have said.
He knew
Check in.
you, and he was there in that fallout for that. He would know it's important. He would know to say.
Probably. I'm still going to check in a bit.
Oh,
she's not planning on getting on a
yeah.
ship anytime soon.
Yeah, they'll
do
do,
it.
but
do it. There's so much here, and there was also the witch's tip went down in that battle and hadn't had time to be rebuilt,
Right.
along with Alton apparently.
You're missing a bit, so I'm just going to say it so that we've got all of it out. Elf with 2 swords takes your head, and I can't bring you back.
All right.
I try, apparently.
So we've got to stop that from happening, obviously. All right.
Do we
So
just
we've
not
got-
go?
That'll only
I
delay
asked-
it. This
I asked
is
if this
set
was-
up for us. This is not.
They were apparently
A random
waiting for
attack.
us.
They'll find us somewhere else, won't they?
Yeah. So we need
so
to
we've
either
got-
go and be prepared,
Yeah, we've got to
or we
prepare
need
for
to
this
find
attack
a way
when
to
it
be
happens.
prepared next time we're at sea, because it's gonna happen next time we sail.
Yeah, it is. We can delay it, but it will happen if they wait for us.
Yeah.
Also,
the only reason
they
to
got
delay
that
is if we-
information. They know where we are because that lady came back
Yeah.
that time that she set the ship on fire, so she knows where we
Yeah.
are right now. That's why she's waiting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll wait somewhere else.
Yep.
All right. So we have to be. We have to do something that she isn't expecting.
Let's retire. No one expects
we should
that.
get out of the sending room.
Yeah.
Yes,
this is a
let's
really
go to
good-
the-
Yeah.
Out of here.
Then we go to your cabin, maybe.
Yes.
No one will take a party in there, hopefully.
Yep.
You excuse yourselves. You return to the party, excuse yourselves, and head back to to the stateroom to speak. As you're doing so, Auden, who's on guard duty, goes, "Everything all right?
Yes. Just had
Oh, bloody hell!
I'll
I'll get a mop."
Yeah, I'm gonna. He's a surgeon, medical help.
Right, waves you off.
overindulgence. Don't
That was
worry
the
about
worst
it.
lying I've ever done.
You make your
She
way
says that
to
out
the-
loud.
to the stateroom where Alton gets a mop to deal with the vomit.
Ugh.
This seems to have so much riding on it. Fuck.
I have no idea how we deal with this. Did you get the whole bit about me and Scamp disappearing in 1802? Did you get that too?
Yeah, we managed to get something from Brandy's treasure.
Oh, right. Benny just knew that we disappeared.
Yeah. So clearly we knew something. And whatever's in there is important. But we kind of knew that anyway. That's not news.
I could look at what happens in 1802.
You could, although even just us discussing it now may have changed that.
Yes, but I could still look.
I mean, what we do, because I don't think anything important will be in a sanctum. Or
Also,
it'll be
I probably
you, and you
still
can't
won't
see
be
you.
scryable. Yeah.
You're never going to be scryable.
No, I'm not.
You literally can't scry on your future self intentionally. Unless you pre-elect with yourself to turn off your...
Tempting.
But then we're getting into Bloodbeard territory.
Yeah.
Or, like, go to a place that you know you're going to be or intend to be.
No, decide it.
Decide a specific time in the future.
That you'll turn you're not scrying off.
Commit to that point in time, and then scry yourself. It's very Bloodbeard thinking, but...
Yep.
Celestia thought of it, so she could say, I mean, I could decide to make myself scryable at a certain point.
You
If
can.
you think that would help.
If it's worth it. Otherwise, you're making yourself vulnerable in the future.
And for no good reason.
Because how often have we gone, oh, let's see them the next time they're in a scryable place?
True, there aren't many of these, and most people
but
can't
we don't
do that,
know.
but...
We don't know who's going to have one in 10 years' time. Or 100 years' time.
True.
Very true.
It
Alright.
is doable. It is risky. We shouldn't underestimate the risk of it.
Yeah.
Alright.
I haven't made that kind of decision, so right now that's not there.
It's alright. So
if we need to, I could.
If we can find a way of keeping the Hesperidia from being sunk, we'll have an extra ship, which will be another ship we can fend off the Reavers with. It'll be 4 against 3, not 4 against 2.
Yeah, what happened to the Hesperidia? I lost that.
It went down in the battle for Newmark.
You don't get more information than that.
Okay.
I don't know what else happened, but it... Yeah.
It was sunk, and presumably, if it was sunk, then Briggs went down with the ship.
I think he literally said to you that Briggs went down with the ship, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So we need to do better in that battle than we did in this future. We did, I think we won, though?
Yeah, we did. We won.
Hey, did you know there's going to be a war in... What was it? I wrote it on this piece of paper. 1914? Yeah, it's the buddy. Like, a whole world fighting in a war?
Sounds terrible.
It's just one war? Anyway, you'll still be around then. If we
how does that even work?
I have no idea.
I learned a lot of words in that vision. Radio... movie.
What's one of those?
Screen.
We heard that one.
A radio is a box that is apparently not magic, but it sends music to it through a little string thing, a wire. Like what some wizards use for message spells, but it's not a spell. They said it was electric. I think that was the word.
Isn't that like lightning?
Yeah.
That's what Benny was doing.
Oh.
With the kite.
Maybe Benny really does something quite fucking clever.
That sounds like Benny.
Wouldn't surprise me. So there's this sort of electricity, and it makes music?
Yes, it makes music. And also, sometimes it makes pictures in dark rooms where you kiss people.
Oh.
Well, I like the sound of that.
I thought it sounded fun. I really didn't understand most of the words the man used, to be honest. It was extremely confusing. Also, that building was fucking tall. I nearly
it
fell
sounded
off.
impossible. Oh,
well.
saints damn it. I'm glad you didn't, but what the...
Yeah,
People got business building things that big. What's the point of that?
Also,
It sounds-
you can't drink in the fucking future.
Oh,
So
now
I
that's
should
just taking
probably
the piss.
just kill myself now, to be honest.
Whoa, hold on. Is that, like, everywhere you can't drink, or just where you were?
They said it was a dry city, so I'm never going to go there. It was Indianapolis, so I assume Indian, but
Later on.
changed. Yeah, they still had some of the walls.
All
But
right.
the scariest thing actually was like one gene that I saw.
Okay, that's not right.
No, we need
That's
we
Nachine
need to
City.
fix that. Yeah, it's their city.
It's also not that far in the future, really.
1922, not that far, no. When it comes down to it, I mean, it sounds like ages, but like I'll still be alive, you know. It's not that far. Is it?
Yeah.
It-
I mean,
it
I
seems
won't,
like-
but yeah.
Shut up.
Well, look, I think all of this, and causing sort of gestures broadly, is like all of this. It should be giving us the resounding message: do not take anything in the future for granted.
Yeah.
Not even radio.
Also, it seems like, from what little glimpses of it we've seen, the future gets so much bigger and so much smaller, and at the same time, and it just doesn't seem to make sense.
No. Let's fix it.
The buildings get a lot bigger.
And people can travel faster.
Well, we can travel pretty fast.
Well, I mean, just think about this ship that we're on. It's the fastest thing on the ocean. But, like, in 50 years, who knows?
Yeah.
Could reach speeds as high as 8 miles an hour. I mean, actually, the Kraken's Bane does 8 miles an hour.
And my son is going to design them. And I'm going to live to see that
Yes,
happen.
he was designing some crazy shit that I didn't understand. They had like big fucking corkscrews in, like you open wine with, but like
Corkscrews?
bigger and shippier.
Well, that sounds fun.
Well, if he's working
Really
with
interesting.
Benny... Oh,
Yeah, it was weird actually. It's sort of the anniversary of your death.
oh,
We raised a glass to you and everything.
Ugh.
thanks.
It was the best way I could think of getting information about you. I felt really weird about it, but
Yeah, that was
No, it's weird as hell, but I think you did a good... That was a good idea.
he looked really successful though. He had the fanciest fucking watch I've ever seen.
Yeah?
Yeah, it had like months and years and moon cycles and all sorts of shit on it. It's really interesting.
Wow.
Fancier than they make them now. And it looked like he was the boss, to be honest.
Alright.
And I mean, people weren't looking at him like they were terrified of him or anything, so I assumed that, you know, it was... He was an okay boss.
He's always been a gentle soul at heart.
Yeah. Seems to still get on well with Benny.
That's good. I'm really pleased that he was able to just to follow his passion to do well. I want to live to see that. I want to
going
meet my
to.
grandchildren.
You are going to.
Exactly,
to.
I am.
So,
You know,
What
I'm
is
not
the
particularly
next step?
positive, but there's not another option. We have to fix it.
how do we fix this?
Ambush
so-
them.
First thing.
So first things first. Yes, if we can find out where they are.
We need more ships. So we need the Hesperidia to survive.
We also need the
We
witch's
could
tits.
do with more ships than that, to be honest.
Yes, if we can get them.
Okay, so
I'd like to outnumber the Reavers if we can manage it.
Absolutely.
so
also,
we need to save ships in the next battle. That
Also,
is
he
a-
said that,
so we need to be more prepared for when they get here.
Yes.
and there was mist that was coming in. Is there any way we could counter that somehow?
Ugh.
Someone who can
Wait a
dispel
minute.
stuff.
Wait a minute. Shawshanks used mist. Maybe he knows a way.
Maybe.
I mean,
We also have the wind
that's not a bad time to
spell.
ask for a bit of help.
Oh shit, we have that favour from Shawshank. We also, if we're in a big fucking pinch, we have that favour from the big whale spirit thing.
Yes, we do.
So we could ask that for help.
We also don't want to blow everything fighting this lot before.
I know we have to fight the Kraken. I'm scared.
And me too.
We have to survive this battle, all of us, if we're going to be able to even fight in the next one. So,
Yeah.
let's focus on getting through this one. If there's something that is pivotal in this battle that stops the Kraken from attacking, then we need to find out what that is.
Well, how often does the Kraken attack normally?
Once every 10 years, it's a cycle.
Well, there we go. Celestia
Corzin
and
will
I
take
left.
them over to the red string wall with the map.
Yes.
We know he has one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Corzin
that's
is going to be
boring.
doing the whole.
You've got the world map, you've got different locations marked in it, red string between them.
Yeah, with little like numbers and dates, and then like where it would have gone from there to the next place that it attacked, and the next place it attacked. Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is, it's less than 10 years till Celestia and I disappear.
Wait
There's
a
no
minute.
guarantee that you dying is what stops the Kraken. It could be whatever we disappear and end up doing.
Could be us.
That's true, I suppose. And when did you say that you were supposed to disappear? 1809. That
1802.
would make sense.
1802, darling.
Oh,
So a bit early, actually.
right.
But I mean, we could go and find it. You know.
That's true.
Yeah, it sounds like we went to it, not the other way around.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of been the plan, hasn't it? We weren't
Yeah.
planning on waiting till it attacked again. We weren't going to let it get another city.
Then, unless there was something else that you knew then that we don't know now, you must have gone into the Everschool.
Maybe. I mean, little Corzin, he said... I should stop calling him little Corzin in this scenario. He's not little anymore.
My son.
But, he... I think he said we found something
Yeah.
Was
in
it something
Brandy's
that you-
place, where the
Oh,
Pirate King stuff is. We found something there that we... No! We found something there, but we also found some... Did we find something else? I'm sorry, I'm getting
You found
confused.
something. Maybe it was from when you got it from the Brandy dungeon. Mm-hmm. Corzin wasn't 100% sure.
He didn't know.
That was his
He
best
said it took
guess.
us years to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something that took us years to find, wasn't it, you said?
But we don't know that it didn't take us years to get into Brandy's.
It might have
Might
done,
be
honestly. Well, just the two of us.
Yeah.
It's different groups.
We don't
you
know it wasn't the two of us.
It might have been
Like,
somebody
we might
else.
have teamed up with someone else that maybe someone has a backup character sheet who would join us. Should cause it type permanently.
Yeah, team up with some, weirdo. I don't know.
I would think like maybe a Reaver that left the Reavers and was a paladin of some sort.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Maybe his name was Plimpy Plomp the gnome,
nah.
Maybe,
and he was made in
maybe,
5 minutes.
Maybe it was Gooseberry.
Oh, Gooseberry.
Yes.
Um,
What was the first name?
Oh, what was
Green
Gooseberry's
Gooseberries.
first name?
Gooseberry.
Oh, I can't remember.
Maybe it was
Goethe?
Gooseberry Green.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to have to listen back to this recording.
I can't remember
Yeah.
what
I actually
Gooseberry's
can't
full
remember.
name was.
I am building this character, though.
I did
And
not
then I
plan
am,
that.
then
I
I am
didn't plan the three
insisting
at the
that
start of
Sam
the episode,
uses.
so like.
If Corzin dies. Corzin dies,
Yep.
you have to be Gooseberry. That's how it works.
Whoever
enough.
dies first has to play Gooseberry.
Oh.
Well, my original backup character won't work now.
That's funny. But, this is terrifying.
oh, it's awful. I hate
Yes,
it.
it is.
I feel sick.
I feel
Not just
so
because
unwell.
I've just been sick.
Well, look, there's a bucket in the corner if you feel the need, but
Which one threw up? It wasn't Little Corzin, was it? That'd be awful.
No,
it was.
Oh, thank fuck
It was
for
the
that.
first one. I think it was an Tyrian lady?
Yeah,
Or
she had red
woman?
curly hair, but was actually quite well-to-do and posh. Fell off the ship. Well, not fell off the ship. Some weird stuff happened, and she got. There was a slave revolt. They had a boat with slaves chained to oars. It was awful.
I didn't like her much.
She fucking sucked. There was a drow there. She was in bed with seasickness, and I came up onto the deck. Got a few names I can tell you. But yeah, there was a slave revolt. She got attacked. And stabbed in the ribs. And
yeah, she seemed to think that Scamp and I were slaves.
Yeah, I thought she was going to drown. I was like, honestly wanting it to hurry up because drowning's not fun. And then some Sahuagin found her.
Oh.
But they were different, actually. Yeah, maybe wonder what had happened to the Sahuagin we'd seen.
What were they like?
They weren't in things that were stolen. Like they had their own stuff and their own culture, and I don't know. They looked quite well off. Honestly, Sahuagin nowadays are scavengers, right? But
as far as
something
I know.
must have happened. And yeah, that fucking bastard, fucking eel spirit was there.
No, the same one.
Fucking was, I promise you.
Prick.
Well, these spirits don't seem to age in the same way we do.
No, not necessarily. And yeah, they cast water breathing on her, and then I woke up.
Oh.
So I don't know if she's got some sort of alliance with Sahuagin, like.
Well, as far as I can tell, she knew old giants, so that's got to be thousands of years ago.
3,000. It can't be her directly. Maybe it's a descendant or something.
I wouldn't underestimate powerful magic. We know that this person is more powerful than any of us.
Yeah, what did you say? More powerful than you and me put together?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the other person that we know like that. That's the Drow Empress. Also, there's been a lot of narrative around this woman and the Grail.
Yep, there's that.
She could be 3,000 years old.
Yeah, I think it's probably a safer assumption.
Could you...
Because if we assume someone's been around that long and is that powerful, that's probably better than underestimating them.
How old did this person seem?
Half my age-ish.
Alright, so...
Adolescent.
Early to mid-teens.
Yeah.
Like my sort of age. I'm older
Right.
now. Ha! I'm nearly an adult now.
It's... For
I
a
hate
fact, that's terrifying, but... Then, if we think it's this same woman, is it possible to, I don't know... Wait. Why didn't I think of it? Try scrying on her on the occasion of her 14th birthday. It'll be before she gets anything, and we'll possibly be able to tell if it is in fact the same person.
How will we know any more than what Celestia saw?
It will still be a random person with red hair, darling.
Oh, you didn't actually see what you looked like.
No, it was a high elf with red hair. I mean, she didn't have any tattoos yet.
I suppose if you aim for... Oh, I think I misunderstood what you mean. So you're aiming for this person, like the all-powerful one, not necessarily the kid. And if it happens to be the kid, we'll know.
Exactly.
I didn't see a mirror.
But even if we know they're the same person, does it really make a difference?
Not massively. I mean, we know if it is the same person, we know her real name. I say real name, that's completely unfair. The name that she used to go by is a much more accurate term. Yeah, birth name, there we go. That's the fucking term I was looking for.
Alright, well... We know that if you attempt to scry on someone that's dead, it doesn't work.
Names are powerful, though. Didn't Poppy say something about true names, or is that just for whatever I turn out to be?
Don't know. Well, but is she a bit like what you turn out to be if she's 3,000 years old and more powerful than either of us?
Not necessarily. It's a different kind of magic.
From what little we know of sorcerers, they are the exception to the rule, whatever rule it is.
Roll a history check.
History check, okay. That was cocked. Oh god, it's so much worse than the cocked one. That's 8.
Okay. No, you don't get any more information.
Alright. I mean, it might not be her. It might be a random elf with red hair. I don't know.
Alright.
But how often have these things been connected? Like, they're always connected. We don't see things that don't somehow relate to what's going on with us.
It's true, I don't know, are we acting as a focal point, or is it just...
Like, even our nice friend from the 20s or whatever it was, the tower they were working on, we kind of made that happen by handing a whole bunch of financial info over to the people who are big in the future.
The mores, right.
They're all connected to us. It seems likely that this is the same person.
Alright.
I mean, I could use her name.
Try
and scry on her now.
Yeah,
but, I mean, I wouldn't put it past her to be fucking sanctumed.
Oh, if, like, now, yeah, they're all sanctum, aren't they?
I think so.
Can you tell if it's a person who exists but is sanctum so you can't see them, and a person who is dead?
I mean, there's a bubble when they're sanctumed.
Right. Well, that at least would tell us something.
There's a bubble...
Is there a bubble regardless?
Not necessarily. So, when you've, for instance, tried to scry on, like, your sister while she's sanctumed...
There was a bubble that I couldn't get into, yeah.
Was there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember if there was no bubble or if it was a bubble you couldn't get into.
No, I think we've had bubbles that I couldn't get in.
Bubbles yeah, like it was opaque and you couldn't quite get into it.
I think so. I'm not sure.
When those were non-scribable locations when you were within a scry.
Yeah, so that's not how it was. You sometimes have gotten in and then she's broken a scry by resisting it.
Yeah.
If someone is unscriable at all, completely in an unscribable location, you're scrying on them, you get a null, you don't get a bubble. If you are scrying, for instance, the time you were scrying in Kion and you saw a building covered in a bubble, that is an unscribable location within from a scribable viewpoint.
Mm.
So if someone is not scryable for whatever, whether because they are now technically an object or because they are somewhere or not under non-detection or not able to be scryed, you don't get a bubble.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but if you get someone who resists your scry, you do get a bubble, but it's popped.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So either way, there
time
wouldn't
since
be a
that's
bubble.
happened. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think I'd know.
Alright, well... If we're fairly certain we know this person's name, there's no harm in trying.
You know, it's a funny thing, but more than anything else, I'm suddenly seized with an impulse to throw the Eye of the Storm off the side of the ship.
I understand that, but you know why we can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Just sick of this.
I know. Yeah. Well, look...
It's stupid, but just for once we're having a fucking normal day.
I mean, you say that. We did have a very long battle today. We went into a magic box and made a boat out of nothing.
We were having a dance and...
Yeah, we also made a magic boat appear. It's not been a normal day.
It's been a good day for the most part, though.
It's been a long day, more than anything.
And I'm pleased to spend it with all of my friends, family, crew, and people I intend to be around for a lot longer.
I think maybe we don't want to rush into scrying on this person because either it'll work, which seems unlikely. They're likely to be able to resist it.
Yeah, we don't need to.
And if they do resist it, they know they've resisted it. They know we're looking.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a risk. Do we want to take that risk?
We have the benefit, at least, of time for the moment, so if we can get done, I think, what we were intending to do, and then figure out some way of stacking the odds in our favour.
I think a big part of it is going to be stacking the odds of this next fight here. Like when the ships arrive.
So I think we're going to have to do that thing that Alton suggested. If those supplies are the definitive thing.
I don't think it changes our short-term plans. I think it makes them more important.
Mm-hmm.
Like this outcome of the battle has suddenly got a whole bunch bigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we're still doing the same things we were.
I think I'd best work on devising a strategy that is based on flotilla tactics for the battle, so that no ship can get too far separated from any of the others. We all have each other's back.
We also need to now be aware that we don't have the option of running. That was never really an option, but we cannot sail from here until we are ready for this fight. Because they are waiting.
Agreed.
And they will wait wherever we're going.
All right. Well, let's not keep them waiting, and when we do, let's be ready.
Yeah.
Speaking of having each other's backs, might request company for the rest of this evening.
Of course.
Otherwise, I'm going to find some opium to smoke. So,
I ain't
you're
going
not.
anywhere.
I reach out and I grab Celestia's hand and I just hold on to it.
Thanks.
There's a knock on the door.
Hello?
Enter.
Creaks open a little. Molly pops her head in. Scout's starting to get a bit late. Fancy a last few drinks and a last twirl around the dance floor?
Fuck it.
That sounds wonderful.
Let's continue the party, yes. I love parties.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And don't forget the hat.
Yes. Also,
I put it back on.
I've been meaning to do this for ages. Come here, Celestia. Let me fix your cuffs. It's going to take a few minutes, but I can mend those. You've got to stop fiddling with them.
How?
Okay, keep fiddling. I will keep mending.
Thank you.
I'm going to kiss Molly for just slightly too long.
Mm.
You're especially affectionate today.
It's an important day.
Come on. Little Corzin's had too much cake. He probably needs his bed soon.
Okay, I'm rolling a voluntary wisdom check here.
Yeah.
Okay, Corzin keeps it together. So, right, let's see what's happened to the little tyke.
You head out for a few last drinks. Last turn around the floor.
Dance with Saran again.
She's happy enough to step on your feet a few more times. And
I'm a little preoccupied, but I'm like, fuck it.
to help your temporarily hyperactive and then suddenly very sleepy as the sugar crush happens. So, get into bed.
Corzin is not leaving his side the rest of the evening.
And we'll pick up there after these, no doubt important, messages.
Here in the Continental Army, we have a saying: a sergeant in motion outranks a captain at rest, and one paladin at work is worth 1,000 clerics at prayer. What they don't tell you, of course, is that a demolitions expert at a dead run outranks everyone. So, like, rate and subscribe to Flintlocks and Fireballs, check out their Patreon and all of the exclusive content there, and remember, keep your powder dry.
And welcome back. The party sort of winds into the hard drinking of committed sailors rather than the generally jovial atmosphere, and things calm down a little, especially as you're coming up approaching like 11 or so. So Saran goes to Tuck to make sure Clara, who's a bit knackered, gets some sleep. So you have a bit of time yourself, Celestia, if there's anything you want to do.
Before we go to the meeting, yeah. I'm going to go to the sending room and do a small sending to Leah.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely drunk again, isn't she? That's happened, yeah.
Drunk
Leah.
sending, the best kind.
Leah, darling. Or sending mage. Get Leah. Are you sailing anywhere anytime soon? Checking in, good reason. Let me know. Explain later. Hope well.
See if you get the sending mage. Celestia. Caught me on a stroll. Not taking any ships soon. Have my side of war to fight. And thunders. Thanks for calling. Keep well.
Well, that's that then. Drink a bit more whiskey and get up to join the others.
Okay. Corzin, a moment with you. As the evening is winding down, you find yourself on the forecastle, leaning on the rail, on like the lower of the two rails, the halfling rail, with Alton, looking at the Witch's Tit, which is refracting like the orange light, the orangish like lamp lights of the city, quite well actually. It's not clear glass, sort of ice. It's a little bit cloudy, but it's a good look for it. Alton. Cheers to you, Commodore.
And the same to you, sir.
Clink. They've offered me Colonel.
Oh, really? You're going to be Rear Admiral, Lieutenant General, Commander-in-Chief of the entire Eastern Front before too long.
Let's hope I never end up Commander-in-Chief. The track on the way to becoming General at this rate. Nah, fortunately they've already got a General, apparently. Some famous Colonel General now by the name of Sally Riverford somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know him personally, but apparently they're an old war hero, that sort of thing.
Oh, I don't think I know the name.
Yeah.
But, look. To save you, careering into danger, I wanted to offer you an out, if you're interested.
Right. He nods to the ship, questioningly.
I nod in the ship's direction as well.
Oh, God.
Am I anywhere nearby?
Are any of us anywhere nearby?
Both of you roll a luck check.
10.
Scamp.
15.
You glance over and see them talking and you just catch the body language of Alton nodding to the ship.
Can I message Corzin?
You can.
You're not about to get Apple Blossom killed, are you?
No, I know what I'm doing.
Apple Blossom kind of swirls the little bottle he's got. It's important you get a lot of ships, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but for the moment...
And they're...
For the moment, I need you here. You're the best damn gunner that I've ever had. If we're going to get out of this, I need the best people I can have around me.
I suppose you got a point there, but... You still want to take on the Kraken, right?
Yep. And it'd mean a lot to me if you were at my side when I was doing it.
I think it would. He's got a little hat of his own, takes it off.
I understand you have your duties up at the battery, and that's fair enough. And I think that's probably going to be...
Corzin.
What?
That's why I got to turn you down. When you make your play, you need an armada.
Yeah.
And I think a stern way of getting you there will be to have someone in the high command who's your friend.
It might at that.
I'm not looking forward to another promotion, but if I stick here now, seems this is where all the action's happening. I might not be able to help you in this fight as much as... I'm sure whoever you pick will be good, but maybe I can help you months or a couple of years down the line, whenever it is, more.
You're a wise man, Alton Apple Blossom.
I try not to be, but I haven't had any of the sauce. It's all been Apple Blossom's best.
Well, look, I mean it when I say that it's meant a lot to me having you as an ally, and I know that wherever you end up,
having you as a friend, Captain.
You know, it's crazy to think that if we could have known only, what was it, a year, 18 months ago when we were back on the Regret, this is where we'd be. I think we'd probably assume whoever was telling us that had been on something slightly stronger than this, and he gestures to the mug in his hand.
Feels like we're in one of Norrit's old stories, doesn't it?
It does. You know, one of the things I really liked about Norrit's stories was generally they had happy endings.
Here's hoping. We're a long way from Bulwark's Bay now.
Ain't that the truth?
Cheers, Commodore.
Colonel. Clink.
Clink.
Now, on the subject of stories, I have to go and read my son, The Troll and the Doll.
He gives you a grin and stays to regard the ice ship and the battery in the distance as you go to read to your son. Scamp.
Uh-oh. Marjorie.
Marjorie is giving you a very flat, puggish look.
Now, we have your traditional pigeon in this one, but there are other options that you might want to consider.
There's just a slight look as if anything but the pug.
Or we could look for another bird, because I did promise wings, didn't I? We could go chasing gulls.
It's like an ambivalent sort of look. It's kind of hard to read in a pug's face though, because it just kind of looks stupid.
Didn't you already get a seagull?
I can't remember.
I'm fairly certain it was back in Alisant you got a seagull.
I rely on you to catch your to keep track of it, but
I
that
lost
does
my
sound
notes
familiar.
for
That's true.
a while.
Okay, well, from memory, you definitely have pigeon. I'm willing to believe you have seagull. That sounds like a thing you did. And you've certainly had enough time in the crossing to do that. You have pug. You have little
Miral.
gecko,
Octopus.
Miral.
Would you like to be a Miral?
Walks over and just runs her floppy little head on your against your calf.
Okay, something with wings. We did promise.
It's a somewhat accepting head, Bob. She's just got limited options.
Let's go herring gull. Then you'll be as big as Jeffrey.
Glances back at Jeffrey. Look as if don't expect any more rides.
Okay.
Okay. You take Marjorie to a little isolated spot, set up your ritual circle. Marjorie waddles into the centre of it. How do you want to discorporate Marjorie?
Oh.
Can't I just do it? I can't just do the ritual to.
No, you
change
totally
it?
can. You totally can. As you do the ritual,
little
just in
pin.
case you wanted to violently murder your pet.
I didn't want to violently murder Marjorie.
I love Marjorie.
As you do the ritual, Marjorie's form comes apart at the seams with a flare of golden light, and it's like all of her pug skin just like breaks apart and evaporates.
Jeffrey, stay away.
And with new planes of golden light that come into existence, and unseen by you as the same spirit getting trapped back in the middle of it, these forms come together and shape into the image of a herring gull. Marjorie ruffles her wings.
There you go. You look lovely.
She gives
And
you
a little bit lethal.
She gives you that gull stare.
Ooh. Oh boy.
It's a lot, isn't it?
However, you have kept your promises. And the three of you make your way on. Corzin, do you have a preference for which story you want to read from The Troll and the Doll? Or do you just pick one at random?
I think I would just pick one at random.
Cool, roll a luck check.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
God.
6. It's gonna be a
Well,
scary
you
one,
do. The first one you come to is the one with the one with a tall figure, with bright red trousers, wielding a giant pair of scissors. So it's up to you if you want to read that one.
You
you
know,
can flip
after
to
the
another.
evening he's had, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. You skip on to and you read the title story of The Troll and the Doll,
Yeah.
which is actually kind of comforting. And unlike the Snow Queen, actually features the titular character a little for some time. Eventually, then, the three of you gather together with Alton and Torfest, actually, and make your way into town and up to the Battery, where there is a meeting gathered, ready to speak with you. Once again, you see the familiar kind of figures that you are used to expecting. A tired-looking Governor, Esther. Once again, obviously Torfest and Alton are with you. The three members of the Bell Founders that you are used to seeing. And, of course, two priests who you know. Those being Jan House in his bright orange and red outfit, and the much more soberly dressed elder Felicity Peters. Both of there's also another figure there lounging against one on a chair with a goblet of with a glass of wine, in the same sort of like one-sleeved snakeskin themed outfit that you last saw him in person, which is Poppy, and the two priests go from staring daggers at him to staring daggers at you as you arrive.
Oops.
Hello.
Poppy, how's the cult coming?
Oh, it's going fantastically. Well, a little, some early recruitment issues. Peter, Jan goes, yeah, about that whole cult thing.
Did the giant snake save or not save a load of people in the last battle?
When we were told that there was going to be a mercenary company arriving, giant snake was not mentioned. Felicity cuts in. No, was an army of demons.
Were a lot of people saved or weren't they? Have they killed anyone who wasn't a problem? I don't think they have.
I think what my affiliate is trying to say is that from a public relations standpoint, the enemy can kind of point to us and call us demon summoners. Which, are we demon summoners now?
Oh no!
Is that what we have?
If you ask the demons nicely to, like, give you a favour for coming with you, and then hire them as mercenaries afterwards,
Poppy
are you
pipes
demon
up.
summoners?
Yeah, you're definitely demon summoners. That's how it works.
Huh.
Sorry, I'm just trying to be helpful.
Maybe we are demon summoners. Did we summon you? Are you summoned?
I mean, you freed me from a prison, so... Felicity face palms. I would say that is a textbook definition of demon
Well,
summoning.
what even is a demon or a god or any of that stuff anyway?
It's alright, he's not sticking around
Felicity,
here anyway.
Felicity, like, do you see her fingernails scratch the table?
Would you rather we had lost the battery? Because that's where it was, darling.
Alton smoothly inserts himself. Regardless, we are certainly very appreciative of the assistance that has been given, and I would remind you that Newmark, as best I understand it, does operate on a principle of plurality as far as religion is concerned.
This is true.
There's a cold. There's an uncomfortable look from Jan and a downright hostile look from Fidelity, but not Felicity, Fidelity. But the pair of them resolutely turn back.
The Rainbow Spirit tries to go over and bother her spirit, and I just grab it and bring it back.
Yeah, they still have the Foxfire Spirit and the Blue Raven Spirit around.
You really, really can't with this one. Well, I'll get in.
Sure.
I'll get in so much trouble.
Wait a minute. Both of them seem to actually take a moment to take stock of.
Oh fuck! I didn't think about that.
Both the speaking spirit, Rainbow Spirit, which is larger and more like a massive little rainbow tendrils, little ribbons at the moment. It's talking, and the fact that you are literally just like almost glowing.
Maybe we're in trouble anyway. Whoops.
We usually are.
Holy
You're hallucinating. It's fine.
shit.
You're not hallucinating. I'm not.
It's
gonna
a
do that.
dream?
Look, returning to the matter at hand, the Arcurians were always going to paint us as the villains no matter what we did. We could have been the most virtuous, most pious people in the world. If we'd beaten them in battle, we were always going to be the bad guys.
Also, I'm not being funny. Without trying to be a dickhead, genuinely, at least the three of us would be dead if they hadn't stepped in. I sent while bleeding to death, and they came and helped. So
Yeah, that's true.
You're welcome. I'm glad
Thank
to provide
you
assistance.
very much. Yeah, there really wasn't a chance.
The two clerics are still a little gobsmacked by the sight of you and Alton.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm sure that's a very interesting question. Now,
Let's talk about it later.
on to the matter at hand. If I can go for a moment.
Yes, please do.
Now, Jacob, I believe you have some information for us, Hannah too. Jacob Lamb, you think he's a merchant, but he definitely seems to fulfill a role as spy master. Kind of like red-nosed, red-faced human man speaks up. We have got a shipment due in. We made contact. We finally were able to make some solid contact with our allies to the south. And we've been moving enough muskets to equip 2 battalions, so 2 units of our militia with the muskets overland. Because right now, of course, we can't take them through by sea, or the Syrians are likely to start another fight over it and have a very good chance of sinking whatever we bring. Because they've gone overland, it's been a bit slower. They weren't able to get here in time for last night. However, what they are able to do is get to a small meeting place about 6 miles upstream of the West River. We got a small barge set up at that meeting point that can go down the river, the West River. It'll be a 6-mile journey, so it'll probably take 3 hours. Pulled by actually it's downstream, so they can just barge pull it. Now the reason they're meeting us 6 miles up is that's just outside the range that the redcoats can effectively police with their cavalry.
Right.
And we do it in the middle of the night. It's not going to be easy to see. Now, normally we wouldn't even be able to do that, but fortunately, you made, as of half a mile upstream, a square mile of the bank of the countryside full of friggin' nightmares.
I did a bit.
Which is actually some pretty good cover, because no one goes there willingly. Including their patrols. On account of it's so freaky.
I mean, that's
It's enough to cause the horses to bolt, I'd imagine.
That's fun.
We
Need any more of that anywhere, let me know, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that, sorry, I got to ask, is the hair thing permanent?
The
I
important
think
questions.
so.
Fair enough.
Why?
There's a moment where you catch Hannah looking at your hair, glancing down, and then, like, shaking her head as if, like, nope, don't ask. As it
I lean on an
occurs,
elbow and make eye contact with her.
Hannah, just a reminder, is like a tall, thin, dark-skinned woman compared to, like, Jacob's, like, ruddier complexion. She just lowers her spectacles slightly, looks to the side innocently.
I give a small nod that could mean anything, but I know.
She blushes a little, and blushes a little, and looks back at her notes.
See Celestia trying not to laugh, and you're not sure why.
Jacob clearly hasn't occurred to him, continues on. Oh, do you actually glow in the dark?
No.
then you still should be fine for this.
I don't think I'm technically glowing. I think it's just colour. I don't think do I glow in the dark? I don't think I glow in the dark unless I want to.
I haven't noticed that.
I think you're
I
the
can
only
glow
person
in
who
the
could
dark.
test that.
If that would be helpful, but only when I really think about it.
We haven't actually seen you glowing in the dark. I think you're just quite a bit more reflective than you used to be.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually light coming from here. I think it's just bright.
Well, in which case, it shouldn't make a difference to a night mission like this. Now, we could send a company out there, but less people, bigger chance of being caught. As I understand it, our other strike unit, the Sunset Girls, had it pretty bad fighting the bear paws, so they're still in recovery.
They're all right.
As far as I know, no casualties, but
good.
They're not in a state to fight right now, which makes you our hardest hitters on their sort of bodies to power ratio.
Understood. Mm-hmm. So what are we expecting? Cavalry patrols?
Pretty much. Now, here's the information I have from my own informants on the matter, and from some of the information that the Sunset Girls were able to pass to me. I'll just take a moment to examine this. He looks at his notes. All right. The closest position they have is a small garrison with about 100 people there. A couple of cavalry bands, 8 squads of redcoats, and officers. They got a couple of snipers as well. Now, most of them are going to stay put unless the cavalry call. So they got roving cavalry bands that are covering a wide area and just keeping an eye out for anything that stands out. That's on the far side of the Nightmare Strip. There'll be something to watch out for when you get out. That's not permanent, is it? I think he said something about it wearing off eventually.
Should be a week from the time I did it, so
okay.
What, a few more days now?
Yeah. It'll wear off on the 22nd. Okay. That's fine then. Basically, the big thing that's going to give you away ain't so much light, although light'll stand out. It's sound. If you get in the fight, don't use powder. Try and stop them using powder. Because a gunshot might not immediately be the same as them blowing the whistle, blowing the horns, calling for help, but it's going to draw more attention.
Okay.
How big's the barge?
Larger than usual riverboat. Should be able to fit that through the narrowest parts of it. Take care. The river can flow pretty fast at parts, but for the most part, it widens out, gets quite lazy.
I'm just thinking from a point of view of ranged weapons. I can lay down a 20-foot area of silence if absolutely necessary.
Well, here's the thing. There's going to be a company of soldiers that's due to arrive. Two squads, so 24 total. They could arrange themselves within such a silent area to make their firing if they needed to. But I imagine they'll want to avoid firing in case of sound. So if you need it, they're there to assist.
Understood.
But
so
we want
24 of our soldiers ready to help.
But we want to avoid things because that much gunfire is going to bring the whole garrison.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isolated shot. Maybe someone's sidearm went off. Maybe it's just the farmer.
Lots of shots would be bad.
Lots of shots. That's a battle.
Understood.
Silence could potentially be really helpful.
Yeah.
It's just about where to put it. Because, we know that, I gesture at me and Scamp, we know that we're fucked in a silence. can just talk for a lot of spells.
Obviously, not where the two of you are, but
Yeah, we'll
somewhere
just
where
work
they
around
are,
you.
amazing.
That could be good.
Yeah.
do you know if they're likely to have mages with them?
No. The Redcoats organize. You're Wendish, right? By the accent? Yeah. So the Osirian army organizes its mages differently to the continental armies. So like when you fought in Sule, I heard when you fought there, you'll notice sometimes the cavalry will have had a mage attached to them, so they could see signals.
Yep.
The Osirian strategy is to concentrate the mages into batteries like the ones we've been fighting.
Fire starters.
Right, which gives them a lot of individual punch, more than you'd normally get, but it means they don't have the same level of integrated mage support as a continental army.
All right,
So you won't need to worry about them sending for help. It's more if they blow a horn.
Right, so if we can take out a group of them fast, we can possibly contain them.
Or talk your way past them, whatever. Like
that we can do.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but either way...
Sweet talk a few in your time, Celestia?
One bloody thing I'm good at.
All right. Hannah speaks up. There's one other thing as well. One of our own is on that barge, Bellfounder. Okay. She'll be coming down to oversee the shipment. I'd like you to ensure that she gets here safely.
Okay, could you describe her if you wouldn't mind?
Yes.
In case of bad situations,
no,
so
that's fine.
we're saving.
She's probably with a bodyguard. She is she's a blonde high elf. And usually tends to favour green. She's been working with the Bellfounders and Thunder's Watch to set up the resistance.
We might.
Lady Grace?
Yes.
Yeah, we know her.
Yes.
Right.
When you get back, there is another thing that I could use your assistance with.
Yes.
I'll fill you in on the full briefing, but I've been making inquiries to purchase a large amount of arms from a manufacturer to the north of here. The north east. They seemed perfectly inclined to assist us, but all communication has cut off from them in the last day or so.
You worried the Assyrians have got to them first?
I'm not sure what's happened. They might just be stalling. It might be a negotiating tactic.
What's the company name?
They're a company out of Beer Barrel.
5 Point?
Yes.
Yeah. We were thinking of...
We were going to pay a visit anyway.
We know of them by reputation.
Yes, but they're an arms manufacturer, so if we can get them on our side, that will be a sustained source of munitions and arms for the rest of this war. And
quite
if it doesn't
ones
end
by the looks
here,
of things as well.
I have some suspicions. Yes. So.
Okay, so we have to play nice.
I've had Hannah's voice wrong. She's got a transatlantic, so it's still kind of refined.
But...
Sorry, I had the wrong accent. So it's refined, but with the US thing. Sorry, so it's more like this. So, yes, I have high hopes that they can be a more permanent ally in this if we can get them on board.
Okay, as an ally, I mean, we certainly know people who've dealt with them.
Yes.
We did a delivery for them back in the day.
Yeah, but they also... We're not fans of their working methods.
No.
Their recruitment method model leaves something to be desired.
Fucking scary, to be honest, yeah.
That's troubling, but unfortunately we're thin on the ground with allies. Right now, we need guns.
Yes.
And as this war develops, we're going to need to make some serious questions about what we're willing to compromise to secure our independence. Because Right now, I'm sure of here in Thunder's Watch. I've no doubt that the Faith Belt is going to have their own things they're going to care about, and I've no doubt that the Cotton States are going to have their own things they're going to care about, and we're going to hit clashes.
This is all very true, but at the moment you're still in the position where the Ursurians think that if they just crush you here, that's an end to it.
And it might be right if they do. So right now, I don't know about their recruitment methods. I am a little worried by what you're saying, but if they can get us the muskets or hell, even the rifles we need.
Do they manufacture cannons there?
I think they do, yeah.
And we could outfit ships as well.
Yeah. From what I understand, they got a whole factory set up there.
All right. This. I think that we've at least got to go and see what we can do about this, because this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. But if there's any way we can shift the practices of this group to a to something
less
that's
kidnap-based model.
Yes, I mean for a start.
Get them on site first. We might have the opportunity to put pressure on them later. Once they're solidly allied with us, they won't be able to turn and go to Assyria.
That's a good point, and I think a point you should make.
Anna has a slightly sharp look to her eyes as she says that.
At what point in an allyship do you say now's time to stop kidnapping people, please?
Once we've got at least once we've got at least enough guns to survive this fight.
And the next one? The next one? When's the right time?
I don't know, but there is a line. Just because we haven't reached it yet doesn't mean there isn't one. People always say, when will it stop? It stops somewhere. And I pray to the Regent that we will know when that moment is, but my God is saying we're desperate.
Yeah, I know we are, but this one's a little hard because it's a little personal. But we'll cope.
We need to go and see it first.
Yeah. But
like I say,
you need to trust us to know where that line is if we reach it. We can't guarantee that we won't find it before you do.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, she looks to Torfas, who nods. Jacob neither nods nor shakes his head. As far as we're concerned, you're proven allies. And you've certainly taken some risks. There's a real ant problem that we're going to have to address someday.
We've come out of it
I've
ahead
forgotten
thus
about
far.
that. So much has happened since then that I'd actually forgotten.
I'm willing to put a fair amount of faith in you and your judgment.
Look, we're not going to fuck things up on purpose.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But
I trust that is the case.
We're not going to compromise our values, our morality to win a battle. Because that's losing in advance. You don't do that. It doesn't work out.
Figure out where your line is.
I think we know where our line is.
And we'll let you know when we get there as well.
Please
We're
do.
not going to keep it from you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
There won't be underhandedness here. We've done enough of that in the past.
Jacob sniffs a little.
I think everyone here can appreciate that if we're going to be damned, and I don't think we are, But if we are, we'd best be down for the right reasons.
As the resident demon, can I say that I wholeheartedly approve of this line of thought?
Poppy, you're not helping.
Poppy, shut up.
We're trying to talk about how good and moral we are. Stop bringing up the demon
Stop
thing.
making us look bad.
Oh.
Makes it sound like we made, like, I don't know, fucking scary, chanty spell and brought you here.
We didn't do anything that big. It was just a... Oh. And you've promised not to do anything bad.
Hey,
Sort
I've
of.
been keeping my word, my promises.
You keep your promises, we'll keep ours.
Can ask for a more honourable approach.
I mean, honestly, I can't be too angry with you because, like, I didn't bleed to death earlier today, so...
Yeesh. Was that today?
Yes, it was 2 a.m. today.
Ah. Sorry. Me and the kids, we've been eating a lot of steak.
I'm happy for you.
Hey, you got some good beef around these parts. Cracks his knuckles. Licks his teeth with a forked tongue.
That's got weird.
Yep.
Fidelity, sorry. Don't know why he's giving me Felicity. Fidelity raises an eyebrow. God.
Yep. Who's your least favourite, me or him?
Just a look between the four of you. Probably still him. Thumbs to gun. Oh, thanks.
Wow. What happened there then? That's none of my business.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Oh.
All right. I think we've. I think that we've covered the gist of the issue.
Yeah,
Any questions?
Oh, I mean, there must be thousands, but I can't think of any. Can anyone else?
Questions about arms place and all of that tomorrow. Questions about right now about going and pick up a barge.
So
Where
the
are we
objective
gonna
is guard
offload
the
when we get
barge.
here?
Yep. Get
Would
the
a
barge
magic horse
here
help?
safely.
Like, would it help get it moving faster? Would faster be bad?
It depends. I mean, from what I understand about barging, I've been in a couple of river barges in my time.
I haven't. I'm very excited. We've been near some in a bit, but I like barges.
I hate
Right, you got those
barges.
fast horses you're talking about.
Yeah,
once.
I can make it. I might be able to make. I make them look weird sometimes. I might be able to make quieter ones if they didn't have hooves. Okay, let's put that differently. If they had paws, maybe, because not
That's
hooves
not
just makes
less
it
weird.
nightmarish.
Fidelity face palms again. Right.
Poppy, you're making us look bad.
What I meant to say is, normally you harness your towboat. You harness your barge to a horse or a team of horses, so you can pull you up river or even down river. But they're made to be like towed. If you want to go fast on a boat, I don't know what towing it with a galloping team of horses is going to be like. That you're probably going to require a steady hand on the tiller. At that rate, you might as well just it'd almost be like whitewater rafting or something.
Could you do those seahorses again?
Yeah. I'm not talking like super fast, but I thought maybe it'd be a little bit faster than barge poles and maybe a bit quieter.
Any boost of speed would do.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Stealth
Like I say,
is
as long as you've got
probably
as long as you've got a capable hand on the tiller, they
Do we?
should.
I assume we do.
Oh, the barge
Yes, you
comes
do.
with a barge with a bargeman. If and of course there's always Corzin as backup.
Oh yeah. You know about boats.
I've piloted barges before.
Come across a boat or two in your time.
You do indeed have proficiency watercraft.
Yes, I do.
Right then. Any other questions?
So, these groups of cavalry, we can kind of send them elsewhere anywhere we like, really. If it's quiet.
So long as it's quiet and doesn't draw attention to the boat.
Some choice illusions, maybe, Celestia?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Could do illusions. I can also do a thing where if I sing for a minute, people get really distracted.
I've seen that. That's quite impressive.
Very distracting.
Yeah, I mean, I've got confusion. I could confuse groups of people.
Should see the
Again.
puppet shows.
Honestly, you should all come to a puppet show sometime. It's great.
My son loves them.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a friend who can sometimes be around who might be able to draw some off. Subtle and quiet's not their strong point, but they might be able to help.
Hey, loud and unsubtle somewhere that isn't where we are, so much the better.
Potentially okay.
They were quite handy with blowing up some of those piers.
Could also guards and wards your barge.
Well, that'd certainly protect us from being boarded.
Well, that might help. I mean, if all else fails, nobody can get on.
Yeah, where are we planning on offloading when we do arrive?
If you get to the northern end, if you get to the southern end of Hickory Island, we'll have a team waiting in the waiting in the fields there to collect.
Understood. We'll need.
You don't need to
give
bring it
them
all the way up to
password
the
then.
city.
Okay.
That's a good point. Your passwords are. Here we go. Your passwords are mutton and fishbone.
Okay.
Okay.
You call mutton, they call fishbone.
Okay.
That's both ways.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like we need some sort of plan.
Well, I think if I use a slightly higher spell slot, I get an ally who might be a little bit.
Well, Celestia, you've
Distracting.
got the best. Actually, you and I have got the best night vision of anyone here.
Yeah.
If we are in strategic points like up the top of the mast, we should be able to see far enough that we should be able to see any cavalry units coming.
Yes, that's true. I mean, hell, me and
Also, you
Scamp
casting
can
from up there could give them an illusion that could interfere with them before they even get to us.
Yeah, I've got 120 feet range on the
Same.
big ones. So that's helpful.
Yeah.
On the big sort of major image type ones. So that's actually quite a decent range away from a boat over flat ground, which is good.
If at the same time, Scamp, you're using your seahorses to give us an extra bit of momentum.
Well, once they're up, they'll keep going.
Yes.
I can do other stuff.
Yeah, quite right.
Right. Sounds like you've got the solid foundation of a plan. I need to relieve a large amount of Apple Blossom's best at this point, and I think we've all had quite a long. We had a fair day. We're going to set things up for your return, so that we can start get those guns out to where they need to be.
Excellent.
Good luck.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Salutes, Commodore.
Colonel.
There's a resigned grin from Esther. Esther, who's been sitting in the back, just kind of looking frazzled, looking as you not said much through the thing. Goes, "Oh, you're accepting the position then, are you?" I suppose I am. Great.
Congrats.
Yay.
Corzin salutes.
Salutes back.
One day we'll get you a day off.
And you make your way out to prepare
We should make it a national holiday.
your midnight barge run. But that is an adventure for next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. and farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs, fair seas, and natural 20s. It's hard to deal with the past. These 10 minutes, they just don't last. I hope this time things turn out right. A future that can be more bright.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.